And we are live once again on the Scotch and Songs podcast. And you might be thinking, wait a minute, that's not Cole. Because why would he show up on time? Leave it to the bassist to be late. No, that is Mom who is joining me for this episode. While we wait for Cole, do you have any really embarrassing Cole stories you can tell tonight?
Well, let's see. I am the mother, so I don't have to worry about um well, there was, let's see. Oops. Trip and fall, kill myself.
Not on camera.
Let's see. No, that's not embarrassing though. No, nothing I can think of just quite yet, but I'm sure I'll think of one. I can tell a funny story. Your dad is already in bed, so he's not gonna. He gets up at 2:00 in the morning. Oh, sorry, I'm walking outside here. Your dad gets up at 2:00 in the morning, so making it out is not a thing for him.
Yeah, that's okay. While you think of embarrassing Cole stories, I'm gonna do some more housekeeping. Wouldn't be a Just Scotch episode without some Glenfiddich. So Scotch. Yeah, that was a heavier pour than expected. I might regret that later. As per usual, QR code, which is currently sharing the screen with me. If you feel like donating to the show. If not, no big deal. There will be a link in the description if you want to help me build the supercomputer. That way we can make these even more exciting. Any other housekeeping that I'm forgetting? I don't remember. So
Donate so you can come and see your mom. No.
I mean that too. We've been talking about doing the Arizona episode, and me and Cole both think it would be kind of, well, it'd be funny if we did the Arizona episode from Arizona.
That I would like that.
I would have to get myself a laptop because, oh god, trying to drag the beast onto a plane or even putting it in a car, oh god, that would be terrible. This computer is about 2.5, 3 feet tall, and probably 9 inches wide. It is a beast. It weighs about 40 pounds. It is a very large computer, and I don't like moving it. That being said, the supercomputer is about the same height. It's about a foot across, but it's all glass and weighs probably about 10 pounds empty.
It doesn't do any good when it's empty, though.
I mean, I've got the case. I have the motherboard. I'm just a poor old country Indian boy, so I can't afford the rest.
They sound like your dad.
Yeah, that part was intentional. Having said that, I use that line so often.
He says it all the time too.
Yeah, I know. So, one of my father's favorite movies is Tombstone. My father has watched that movie so often, I can quote it.
Yeah, he really likes that movie. We like to go to Tombstone. We finally went and did Boot Hill. That was, oh my goodness.
Well,
You don't we didn't realize it was as big as what it is. And we didn't actually do the whole thing because there's a part of it that we're old. So
well,
it was a bit much, and it was kind of warm because it's Arizona, but we went in. When did we go? In September, and it was just too much. The heat. There's no shade there, obviously, but
I mean, yeah. So, I dress like, well, this in the summer.
yeah,
Leather vest, sleeves, jeans, usually black. So, I've developed a certain immunity to heat. Arizona heat is something completely different.
completely different.
It
Yeah.
regularly hits triple digits in Colorado. Phoenix, which is not too terribly far from you guys, is the hottest city in the country. I want to say temp in Phoenix usually gets to like 120, 125.
They get up there.
I'm pretty sure my microphone keeps traveling. And that is not all intentional.
They get up there.
That being said, you may be wondering why Mom is joining us tonight. We're doing Just Scotch Part 2. We're going to call it the Thanksgiving episode.
You could call it the Crystal's birthday episode. Her birthday is in 2 days.
There is that as well, yeah.
You may be wondering why just part 2.
And we are still waiting for Cole.
You call it the Crystal's birthday episode. Her birthday is in 2 days.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can hear it in the background. Jack is watching on YouTube.
I do hear that. Hello, little brother.
You'll see him in just a second. I had to get up and get my unsweetened tea.
Well, I have sweetened tea.
I get. You remember I guess it was like a month or so ago, we were joking around about the diabetes and all that because of how much sugar I put in my tea. I'm there's Cole. I'm pre-diabetic, so I have to cut back on my sugars.
Oh.
And that, ladies and gentlemen of the audience, is called manifestation.
Well, it runs in the family, so. And then I was talking to my dad. Oh, there you go, Jack. Got my pillow back there. I was talking to Grandpa, and he's pre-diabetic too. So, but diabetes runs in the family, so.
I have been meaning to call him and just have not gotten around to it.
Speaking of the family, today is Uncle Max's birthday.
Okay.
I am not entirely sure if that's someone I've met.
Probably not. You've probably only
Fair.
met Grandma's side.
We went to a family reunion. Oh god.
That was definitely Grandma's side.
Yeah,
Yeah, that wasn't Grandpa's side.
that was Grandma's side. Um, that was before we got married. So that was quite a while ago.
That would have been Grandma's side, so it would have been Uncle Bruce or Uncle Johnny.
In case you haven't realized it, our family is huge.
Huge.
We're still discovering members of our family.
Yeah, pop up all over the place.
It wasn't I mean, it was a while back, but it really wasn't that long ago that we discovered Dad had siblings that we didn't know about.
Yes. Yes, we did know about them, but there was no contact.
Oh. I'd always
So we knew there were older siblings. We just didn't have contact with that side of the family.
I had always been under the impression that we just didn't know about them.
No, because we knew that Grandpa Jack had been married previously to Laurel, and there was no contact with them.
Speaking of Grandpa Jack, Mom, do you want to tell the casino story?
You did a pretty good job.
I was relatively little, and by that I mean
Yeah.
I would have been like 12 or 13.
Yeah, it would have been trying to think. Let's see. We moved here in 2007. So that would have been like 2005, 2006. So yeah, about 12 or 13 is about right for you. And so like you said, we had gotten separated from him and we were looking for him. And kids can't walk through the casino, but there's the hotel there. And we were staying in the hotel because Grandpa Jack knew Don Laughlin, and so our rooms were comped out. And it was a drunk guy and a drunk lady, and it was what were there? How many of you? How many ever of you kids there were at the time that were with us?
I want to say it would have been everybody but Cole.
Yeah, so 6. It would have been the 6 of you. And we were walking to the casino, and they were arguing or whatever, but they were drunk, and the woman bumped Shy and almost knocked her down. and I asked your dad for permission to go beat her ass because, we were in the casino. I said, she hit my daughter. Can I go kick her ass? And Dad was like, sure. And I was like, excuse me. And the lady turned around and the guy thought he was going to get in my face. And your dad stepped up behind me. And an argument proceeded to go on. And he was yelling at me about shouldn't have kids in the casino. And I said, they're not in the casino. They're going to their hotel room. And we were going round and round. And your dad was not pleasant about it either. And it was just about to come to blows. And all of a sudden, Grandpa Jack comes out of the middle of nowhere and steps up behind your dad and says, yes, stepped up behind your dad. And he says, is there a problem here? And the guy just automatically went, whoop. But he wasn't so big and bad anymore. And the arguing kept going. And the guy's like, well, I should call security. And Grandpa Jack says, yeah, we should call security. You want me to do it? Or maybe I should just call Don. And the guy was like, okay, there's no problem here. And they left like bats out of hell. They were just taken off because Grandpa Jack was by no means a small man.
Well, for the record, neither is Dad, and Dad has a way with words.
Yeah, which he gets from Grandpa Jack, but Grandpa Jack was he was something.
You'll have to. We were in the process of moving from Tennessee to Arizona. And all of us kids were in Oklahoma. You guys had gone back to get more of our stuff. I think that's how it went.
Yeah, we went back to get the last of it. You guys stayed with Grandma D.
Yep. Now, this is Mom's story. And she'll, I'm sure, elaborate. But she was driving. Dad was asleep in the passenger seat because that is a long drive. And somebody did some dumb shit on the interstate.
He was riding my ass. And so when he finally went to pass me, he was acting like he was all mad and your dad from the reclining position sits up and looks at him and gives him the look, and the guy just sped on because your dad just kind of has that way about him. He was like a bulldog. He just kind of popped up and the guy was like, woo, I'm out of here.
Yeah, Dad has such a way with words. He doesn't even need to use them.
Yeah, it was just the look on his face, and the guy, it looked like he was shitting himself, and on down the road he drove. So.
I'm not saying it wouldn't be a useful skill and /or situation for my daily commute.
Shot in your daily commute around here.
Yeah.
No, most of it's not in Buxton.
It's along Route 1 corridor,
though. There have been a number of road rage shootings in our general vicinity here recently. Right? Just like stupid things. There have also been a number of wrong way drivers in our general vicinity here, like along my daily commute.
Welcome to Jersey.
Other no, all that shit's been in PA.
Oh God, how bad is Jersey?
I avoid it usually.
Right.
I've driven there maybe 3 times in the past year, and we live 10 minutes away.
Like all the stupid shit that I say. I mean, like, okay, fine. People in Jersey. Listen, Jersey drivers rightfully get a bad rap everywhere but New Jersey. And also in New Jersey. But I see less dumb things from Jersey drivers in Jersey than I see from other people outside of Jersey, including New Jerseyans.
There's a lot of issues in Tucson, more so Phoenix, but there have been a couple of road rage shootings in Tucson. It's not even safe at the bus stops anymore.
I remember you talking about that, and then you sent me the link of it was a news article where it was like the bus driver who had gotten shot or something. I don't remember what it was.
I don't remember which one I sent you, but that doesn't surprise me. That stuff happens all the time in Tucson. I hate going into Tucson. You want to talk about Jersey drivers? Come drive in Tucson. These people here are just so crazy. It makes my body physically ill to know that I have to go and drive in Tucson. It
We
makes
made my
me.
brother drive in Philly the other day.
See, this is where a robust public transportation system would come in handy.
Well, Tucson, at least to my memory, has one, but evidently the bus drivers are getting shot.
Well, okay. Here's
Welcome to Philly.
the
I mean,
issue.
Philly's
Yeah.
trains catching on fire.
Well, see, the issue with the bus system in Tucson is when COVID hit, they quit charging you to ride the bus. So right now, it's free to ride the Sun Train.
all right,
All
cool.
Sun Train is free.
Good.
Most expensive
But-
and least efficient public transportation system in a major city in the world. Right here.
The problem with the free transportation, and I don't have anything against homeless people, some, whatever, that's not my issue. But now there's all the drugged out homeless people get on the bus, and that's all they do all day long is ride around on the bus. But now it's not safe to go to the bus stops. Some guy and his wife were traveling from wherever, going back home to North Carolina, and he got stabbed at a bus stop. They carry machetes. There's stabbings, there's shootings. It's a constant issue, and they get on the bus and they cause issues. And if you had to pay for the bus, they wouldn't be on the bus. That wouldn't prevent them from being at the bus stop, but the buses would be a little bit safer. And I think it was the driver. I don't remember what it was with the driver. I don't remember. But see, you have a sister down there that rides the buses, and it scares the crap out of me all the time because you see this incident happened on the bus. But I understand in the summer, I don't think the buses are air conditioned though, but all that, and they're down by the U of A, and it causes all sorts of issues at the U of A too, because it's an open campus, obviously, but you get all the homeless people on the campus, and they've had all sorts of issues with that too. But Tucson has a very, very high homeless concentration. I mean, it's everywhere.
What sorts of support systems and infrastructure are there for homeless people? In desert environments, you're more inclined to have higher homeless populations because you've got better weather for it.
Yeah.
So like what sort of infrastructure and support systems are there for unhoused people.
Well, you're gonna have your typical food banks, things like that. Tucson tends to be a relatively blue city. I mean, big cities all tend to be
Most
relatively
major
blue.
cities tend to be blue.
Yeah. And it doesn't necessarily matter what support is there because most of them won't take it. I was down in Tucson about 5 years ago.
Mental health issue. So
I was,
where's the mental health support?
and a lot of them won't take that unless they have to. I was down in Tucson about 5 years ago. There was a park about 3 miles from downtown.
Tucson.
And I drove a pile of shit car and did not feel comfortable being parked down there. And at the time, I lived out of that car. So it's not high and mighty looking down on the homeless. It's homeless going, I don't know. I mean, that particular park, and I don't remember which one it was basically open air drug market. They weren't hiding needles, anything.
Okay, Kensington.
Kensington.
I mean,
You remember the first? Well, no, you were too little. The first time we stayed in Tucson before the twins were born, when I was pregnant with the twins, we stopped. Or was it? Oh, maybe it was before that. Anyway, one time we went to a park in Tucson way back in it was either the mid 90s or I can't remember when. I don't remember how many kids were with us. But we went to the park and we sat at the bench and all the homeless people were watching us, but it was a city park. And then we realized there was stuff under the table. We were actually sitting at somebody's house. And you were there, Cole. So it was either 3 kids or just you and us.
I don't remember that.
So it was probably the first time we came through Tucson when you were before. Yeah, when you were like, what, about 5?
Which probably would have been the same time we went to the Grand Canyon in San Diego and
yeah.
What?
Oh.
And San Bernardino, and we pulled over on the side road.
He's just real hungry.
Oh God!
That dog's not dead. You want a dog, Cole? No, that dog is dead. Is dead, Daddy. No, he's not dead, Cole. He's just hungry. It was a skeleton of a dog.
Yeah. Like embedded in the mountainside.
Yeah.
And without a doubt, there will be people who watch this and go, "That is horrible," and no, that's just Dad.
I could see Marty doing something like that too.
You're better than asking about dispensaries on the way back. Okay, hang on. In a different, and now for something completely different, but it wasn't. You want to pull out the photos? One, we got back band photos.
Haven't posted them anywhere. You guys are the first family to see them, or anyone other than us.
And now a Scotch and Songs exclusive.
I mean,
we have cardboard.
I'm having this pack of photos.
Sorry, she pulled out the backing, just the backing.
Hey, it's little nephew.
Oh,
He's
little
little.
Mike Flynn, he's probably bigger than you.
He's taller than Cole. He's
Oh,
taller than
shit.
Paul. Big.
No. He's a skinny little kid.
Yeah, he
I-
barely weighs more than me. Don't be confused.
I could still pick him up and snap him like a twig.
Well,
For
uh,
now.
uh,
For
mom,
now.
mom
See,
was
the
also like
picking him up is the
7,
hard
8
part.
months pregnant and could still body slam you. So,
But he got his first, kind of college visit experience. The band did
This-
high school night with Temple University's marching band.
Oh wow.
At the
So
link.
yeah, they got to play at the link on the field with, the Temple Diamond Band. My dad and brother went to the game with us. My brother drove. My dad and brother are both Temple alumni. Reasons this is a little, extra special to get to see the kid do this one.
But also he, was playing Lincoln Financial Field,
Yeah.
Eagles Stadium. So
My excuse to go see the link and not have to see the birds.
So where is the link now? Is that where the vet was? Because they used to have Veterans Stadium, the vet, when
It's in the
When I-
same general. It's South Philly. It's in our sports complex.
yeah, all the stadiums are all slammed up against each other, right? Citizens Bank Park, the Phils, is literally right across the street from the link, and then the
Wells Fargo Center.
yeah, there we go. That's the one.
I
Sorry.
had to think about it because I wanted to say the FU Center for a minute because that's what it was back
The
in the
Financial
day.
Union Center.
oh well, I
The
mean,
Financial Union Center.
I
you know.
mean Wells Fargo. It's the same.
Yeah, but when it was called the Financial Union Center, it got abbreviated to the FU, right? Because that's Philly.
I mean, city of brotherly love, right?
Damn straight.
In West Philadelphia.
Hey, I'll do West Philly.
Um,
I'll do
Don't
South
make me
Philly,
queue
I'll
up
do West
Pandora.
Philly, East Philly. I don't mess with West Philly. Only when I'm picking Breon's butt up for shit.
yeah.
So, is little nephew interested in music?
It's the mandated extracurricular this year, and it'll probably be reevaluated next year because it has ruled his life more than any sport he could have signed up for.
I mean, it'll do
Had to
that.
be at every football game. They have what? They've done 2 parades. They have 2 more coming up, including a Thanksgiving Day one in Philadelphia. They did how many competitions? Some of which he was getting, he'd be at the school at 8 in the morning and not get home until 10, 11 after midnight.
There was one that was after
It would be he'd have practice 3 days a week with a football game Friday, a competition Saturday, and a parade on Sunday sometimes.
It do be like that. But what I was hinting at is I happen to know of 2 colleges that are, at the moment, about 2.5 and 3 hours away from me, respectively, that have renowned music programs.
Dude, we're less than 2 hours from Juilliard.
It would give you an excuse to come to Colorado.
Trying to keep him in state in all reality unless he fully scholarship somewhere, dude.
UNC gives scholarships just to give them. And CSU.
Well, yeah. Temple's one of those schools, he would be a legacy.
That's fair.
And, not that I really want my kid going to school in North Philly, but
human steak is scholarship.
Yeah.
I go
Well, we also-
back to my I go back to my original point. It would give you an
Right.
Oh, we
excuse
have
to
two
come
Ivy
to
Leagues
Colorado.
within commutable distance too. I mean, we got Penn and Princeton that are commutable. I mean,
Then like other notable commutable schools to us: Nova, Rutgers, obviously Temple, Drexel, LaSalle, like
all commutable. Westchester, which isn't as renowned, but is like a good state school. We got a Penn State campus that's commutable. We got, I mean, his high school has agreements with the community college, Gwynedd Mercy University, and the College of New Jersey. We're hoping to get some college credits completed before he, graduates.
right. So we live in an area that's rife with educational opportunity.
That's fair.
So
It's
There's always, he could always come and stay with grandma, and there's U of A, or what's that other one? ASU.
I mean,
NAU
given
up
the
in
way
Flag.
Yeah.
given the way you've been talking about Tucson, I'm not sure that U of A sounds like such a good idea anymore. And ASU, I know, is a party school, so
I mean, if staying with family, we got all the Pittsburgh schools in the mix too. Because my godparents would take them, Aunt Kath would absolutely take them. Larry and Grace would take them too. That might be scary. But we got all the Pittsburgh options too with my family. Pitt, Duquesne, Carnegie Mellon, if he decides to be that type of science nerd.
Nothing wrong with that.
You know what Jack's favorite subject is in school? Come tell him what your favorite subject is.
lunch.
Science.
Okay. Also a good choice.
Well, that's usually Cedric's favorite. He doesn't have science this half of the year right now. So we'll see next half. But
You know what
He's definitely not loving math right now.
Hey,
By the way,
Jack,
speaking of
how
math,
do you feel about math? Yeah. Yeah, you couldn't see the look on his face, but yeah, math is not the favorite subject. Science and social studies, math and reading.
I
so that
I love
Get
reading
after
and
my
writing,
heart.
but science, social studies, history.
History.
that thing I mentioned last week, that I was late last week and you tried to give me shit about it, right? Where you
I would never have done that again.
the volume of a box in x cubed minus 3x squared plus 3x minus 1. And, the kid and I were racking our brains trying to figure this out. How would you determine the length of the side of the container if it's a cube? And, obviously the answer is tape measure.
I was looking around for one because I might have one down here.
But so the answer that Cedric wrote down, that I told him wasn't the right answer, but he was like, you know what, to hell with it, I'm going with it, right? The answer that he wrote down was, right, so volume is length times width times height, right? Length times width times height. But if it's a cube, they're all going to be the same, so why wouldn't you just write like L cubed, right? So the answer he writes down is L equals x cubed minus 3x squared plus 3x minus 1 under a cubed root radicand. Take the cubed root of that whole phrase. That's
the whole thing in the answer was.
And he wasn't wrong. I mean, like I told him, you're not wrong, but that's not the right answer. It turns out
It was the right
Is it-
answer.
I thought that was him back there, and I was looking up at the television, but there's a delay in the YouTube, and I was like, wait a minute.
Hey, it's a first on Scotch and Songs. Hello, little nephew.
Oh,
It's my grandson. It's your nephew. Look, this is where it gets funny. Look, Jack, it's your
Oh, it's
nephew
your uncle.
Cedric.
yeah.
And you bent over, still look taller than me in some of
Oh yeah, hang on. Just to prove this to you. Oh right, here I can take
Yeah, shoes off.
my very thin.
Holy shit.
Just barely taller than me, but yeah.
Yeah.
Got like an inch on
It's
Now you know how I felt. There, take that.
All right, Mom.
Been tall if I had if you had the shoes on.
Oh, you got her.
All right, Mom. You got any other family stories to embarrass us with?
Oh my God, Drake, you are so bad that boy, the stories I have about you.
I was getting ready to say, my 33rd birthday is coming up. You want to tell them what happened 30 years ago on my birthday?
Oh, another Tucson story.
Oddly
So,
enough, yes.
was it your third birthday?
Yes.
Okay, so we were in Tucson and we were staying in a hotel, and you opened up your presents, and you had a car that Blaze really liked too, and Blaze was playing with your car, and you got mad because Blaze had your car, and you held your breath. You quit crying and you held your breath. You remember, Cole? And
I
you
forgot
turned
about that, but yeah.
blue, and we were trying to get you to breathe, and all because Blaze was playing with your car. You almost died over that stupid car. Oh my gosh.
I could not tell you make and model. I know it was a powder blue convertible. I remember that car. I also remember that we lost it somewhere.
Yeah, well, car wasn't the only thing that was powder blue that day.
Oh no, that wouldn't have been powder blue. That would have been probably closer to a navy.
Oh, great. You guys put me through hell, and then I kept having more of you. What was wrong with me? I'm not right in the head.
that little story goes to show you I am and always have been kind of a shitbag.
And the fights never stopped between you and Blaze.
Nope.
They never stopped until you don't live in the area.
I've already made these exit.
Actually, you could still say they never stop because me and siblings and cousins all have a little group chat.
Mm-hmm.
We invited Blaze. He popped in, saw who was in it, and immediately dipped out.
Yeah.
Last time I saw my brother, there was also a fist fight. Me and Blaze don't get along.
Blaze doesn't get along with anybody.
No.
Let's see. There were always the fights. We were in Dover, and you guys would start fighting, and you'd start breaking my stuff, and I'd throw you out in the backyard. It happened in Dove Mountain too. And I had to throw you out of the house because you were breaking the furniture and everything. And I would have to make you go out in the backyard because it didn't do any good to stop you from fighting, because you just start going at each other again. And so, not to have this stuff that I worked hard for to be broken, I would send you guys out back, and you would go out and you would beat the crap out of each other. And then when you were finished, you would come back in all bloody and bruised. And that's how the fight would end.
Yeah. I hear her laughter in the background. Crystal, do you remember the last Oh.
That was, you heard him laughing, but
It's all
she's
good.
right there.
Do you remember the last time me and Blaze got into a fight? You were there.
There's so many, I can't remember which one happened last.
Fair.
Oh,
He was
reasons
picking
I'm
on
glad
you.
we have not.
He was picking on you about something you were doing on your computer.
Well, yeah, it sounds like Blaze.
I jumped in to be the good big brother, and it ended up in a fist fight, which Dad had to stop. And I, for once, didn't get in trouble for fighting with my brother because I was doing the right thing and sticking up for my little sister.
Oh, you guys. Well, you know what's really funny is you guys were always fighting. It's always the boys fighting. Oh, look at my grand chinchilla. Look, I got grandcats too. So I have kids, grandkids, grandcats, grand chinchillas.
Hey, Strat, she's
So-
talking about you.
This is the old lady of the group. She's been lovey lately.
See this chinchilla?
You can't really see her right now because she's on the chair behind me, but Stratocaster's back there. That's another one of your grandcats.
My grandcats. Yep. So, you know, you boys, you boys were always fighting because there was also Dakota and Carson fought a lot too.
Oddly
And,
enough, two people who also shared a bedroom.
Yeah. How does that work? Well, okay, so here comes the third one. One day I was going in your sister's room to get your sisters, and I opened up the door and they were on their bed, and there's this big old ball of girls, and there was hair pulling and feet kicking, and I just said, well, never mind, let me know when you're done. I shut the door, turned around and walked out and went back. And I just watched them there fighting. I was like, I'm not breaking up any more fights because they just keep going at each other. But I walked in and they're in this ball on their bed, and there's hair pulling and kicking with the feet. And I was like, I'm done. Let me know when you're finished.
If any
One
of
kid, one. I'll stick with the chinchillas. They don't fight with each other.
I wish I could say that about the cats here.
I was going to say that, yeah, our cats fight with each other all the
Listen,
time.
one cat, one kid. The things that fight, I have one of. And luckily, they don't usually fight with each other. Cat fights with me. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to turn on the light back there so you can see Stratocaster. It's the
I
one
can
in the
see.
chair, not on the footstool.
Oh, I don't see one on the footstool. I see the one in the chair.
You don't see the
Oh, yeah.
tuxedo on the footstool?
No, that's where your name is.
The-
That, and there's a glare on the television, so I can't see it on the television. Plus, I'm half past blind ass, so.
That would be Daredevil. He's inbred. He's a little special. Having said that,
Well, we won't even get into that.
He's probably the nicest cat here. He is very cuddly when he wants to be.
Oh,
Well-
Luck is very cuddly when she wants to be too. Most of the time she doesn't want to be, and she lets you know.
Stratocaster is still very much feral because I picked her up in Texas. She was a stray.
That is like,
And wherever she happens to be hiding, I'm sure she's down here somewhere too. Shortstop, Targala, is just a kitten, so she wants to fight everything.
We have one that. So have I ever told you the story about how we got our last cat? The youngest one of the 5 that we have.
I don't
Never
think so.
told you that. So we volunteered for a rescue, and we fostered cats. That's what I'm trying to say. And we fostered these 2 black ones, and Carson came to visit me, and it was his birthday. And so Carson liked those cats so much, he adopted them and took them back to Iowa with him. And then they had a cat that we saw on the community, our community page on Facebook, that somebody found in their shed. And instead of leaving it to see if the mother would come back, because it was only, how old was she? Like 2 weeks old? She was 2.5 weeks old. And they didn't leave her there to see if the mama would come back. They just didn't want the cat in their shed. So they called the rescue. And so the rescue was like, well, leave it there, but she'd already brought it in the house. So the rescue went and got the cat, and they called us and they were like, look, we got this bottle baby, and have you ever bottle fed? And we were like, no, but we're willing to try, and we can do that. So they brought the cat to us, and we learned how to bottle feed her and all that. Oh, she was a feisty little thing. She's a blue Russian.
Ooh.
So adorable.
Yeah,
Party.
adorable. Okay. Feisty is all get out.
Party.
She is so feisty. So Dakota came by and he saw her and everything, and he wanted to adopt her. So I was talking to the lady for the rescue, and I said, well, Dakota wants to adopt the baby, which we call her Baby. Her name is Emily, but we all call her Baby. And I promised your dad, I'm not adopting this cat. It's not our cat. We're just fostering it. Well, when I asked them about Dakota adopting the cat, they said, well, we never did the intake on her. You did the intake on her. She's not our cat. She's your cat. And so I had to come home. I had to tell your dad, the cat that we're fostering, Baby, yeah, she's not their cat. She's our cat. And he's like, I like Baby. She's feisty and she's mean and she wants to go outside. So the smaller 3, we have harnesses for them. And so when you go to put the harness on her, because she wants outside so bad, she growls at you the whole time you're putting the harness on her. And she hisses. And so you take her outside and she wants to growl and hiss at you the whole time. Now, when you pick her up to get her out of the laundry room into the yard, she growls and she hisses at you like she's going to swat your eyeballs out, which I'm afraid she might actually do that. She will. Crystal said, yes, she will try. So she's out there and she has a good time and everything. And then when it's time to come in, you know what she does? She growls and hisses. Oh, she's a mess. She is very feisty. She's an instigator.
Really?
She has been.
You're gonna do that on camera?
Luck, came in more or less willingly because Kate had a can of tuna. But otherwise was a feral living on what she could steal from Burger King and the Coffee Cup Cafe, right? So picture a feral cat that survives on waffles and burgers, right? So she comes in chasing a can of tuna. Hello, boys. And
she
eventually
just keeps
Kate's like,
coming back with more animals.
I know, right?
Just stand to them. It's just the boys. I did it by cage. The girls each have their own cage. These two share a double decker.
Why do you think my albuterol is sitting right next to me? But so eventually Kate's like, we should walk the cat. Oh, yeah, good luck, right? Surprisingly, Lucky was real receptive to having a harness put on.
She loves wearing a harness. It's
Like-
definitely too pudgy.
And then we got her outside with the harness and the leash. And you know what she wanted to do? Go right the fuck back inside.
She's like, I know I got it. These people are suckers. They feed me. They get me the best food on the market. They scoop my shit. Like, I had a warm place to stay, windows to lounge in. They clip fresh herbs for me.
So while we have our apartment and young Lucky, she's not real, like, cool with the harness. Doesn't actually want to go outside. We move back to Kate's parents' house, and Luck now wants to hang out in the backyard. Okay, cool, right? Years later, we buy our house, and Luck now demands to go outside whenever she feels like it.
Mm-hmm.
I've got grass I need to eat.
Well, we planted an herb garden for her, including lemongrass right in front of the house.
And she loves her some lemongrass, apparently.
So, Miss Stratifatter back there.
Just try it better.
Oh, she's chunky now.
Patacaster.
Well, the friends I was staying with down in Texas were in an argument about a car, and while we're all standing out in the front yard, white trashing it up, she comes up and she's circling between our legs and trying to get attention. And Kim, who's now my roommate, storms off. And me and Trevor look down and go, well, aren't you sweet? So I end up picking her up and taking her through the house to Trevor's office. And that's where she stayed for a little bit. Eventually she came into the actual house. And she has been with us ever since. And, I mean, they came up to Colorado. Obviously, she did too, because she's in the chair behind me. And she loves me. She's got her own little spot on my bed. I'm the only one. I'm really the only one that can pick her up.
Now, well, I'm always in trouble for I have this I would say grandma issue, but it's not really grandma because grandpa was the one that ended up with all the cats and just kept collecting them. But
He had
get in
like
trouble.
23 at one point in time.
I think it was worse when we visited.
Me and Ashley
Yes.
me and Ashley counted. There were 23. We call them Die Kasterreich. Because the cats were in that house.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
shit.
That was a scary place to visit.
We
The walls have
also
eyes.
we also managed to get him down to I want to say 3 or 4. It may have been 5. And one of those was actually our cat. Because it got bad.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going hard for a minute. Oh.
Hey Mom, do you remember how I ended up with stitches? Speaking of Grandpa's
No.
house. Stitches in my
I was
eyebrow.
hoping that this would be a segue into Stitches was my cat.
Oh, the stitches in your. Oh, I don't mean the. Yeah, you were misbehaving again.
No, actually.
Oh,
And Cole was actually there for that one too. So
Yeah.
I have a scar in my eyebrow, and you won't be able to see it on camera. But Star Wars
Oh,
Episode
chunk.
1 had just come out, and we had just watched it. And somebody's not happy.
Oh, come here. Come here.
And
Oh,
I decided I was
Yeah.
going to play a robot. My arms and legs
Wow.
had gotten blown off because I've always been a dark child. And I mean, you can't stand up if you don't have legs. So I fell down onto the mats for the patio furniture. And cut my eyebrow on one of the chairs in the living room.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, that hurt. I remember Mom and Grandma looking at it and trying to clean it and saying, "Oh, nope, he needs stitches." Cole came down and saw it, freaked the fuck out, which is about when I did too. And I ended up with, I want to say, like 7 stitches in my eyebrow.
I don't remember how many stitches. I just know that
Stupid.
you were roughhousing or something, and you hit it on the back of one of the chairs.
Yep. Stupid.
I don't
Yeah.
remember that.
It wasn't until
You
you
don't
started.
remember that?
It wasn't until you saw it and started freaking out that I did.
I just remember you hitting the back of the chair, and I had to take you and get you fixed up.
Yeah.
Now Blaze, he was a mess. Him and the back of his head.
Oh God, like 4 times. Yeah.
He did it on his, I think it was his 4th birthday. Maybe it was his 5th birthday. It was his 5th birthday. He was on the monkey bars. Sorry, I'm shaking because it's cold out here.
And she lives in Arizona.
And it's
Oh,
cold right now. There's
No,
snow
it's
on
fair.
Mount Lemon.
I saw that.
there's always snow on Mount Lemon.
Not always.
No.
Not always.
Not in the summer, but there's snow on Mount Lemon, and I think the Guerreros have snow on them too. I haven't been able to see them for the cloud cover the last couple of days. It is cold in Arizona. It's cold for us in Arizona. But you know me, anything below 75 is cold. It used to be
Yeah.
80, now it's 75. I can do 75 okay, but
I had to bring the succulents and the hibiscus in. Actually, the small dish of succulents sitting out there by your smoking spot needs to come in too.
Right now they're doing okay. They're protected enough they haven't been hit by a frost.
Right, but it's not far off.
I know.
So, we had gone to a park. I I do remember this. Blaze was playing on the monkey bars and slipped and cracked his damn skull open again.
That was the first time, and that was on his birthday. And I took him, and I can't remember if that's the time he got stitches or if that's the time he got his head glued back together. But then the very next year,
It didn't work.
it didn't work. Yeah, it was like a day or two before his birthday, I think it was. Some people, great, were playing Tarzan on the bunk beds, and somebody was swinging on a sheet and smacked his head on the wooden bunk bed. And that was a trip to the emergency room. And they either stapled him or glued him. I can't remember which. I know one time he got staples or stitches, and the next time he got glued.
That I don't remember.
Almost the exact same spot.
I don't remember which came first. But yes, for the record, I swang just fine on that sheet. We probably should have made sure it was still tight when Blaze decided to swing on it, but he did. It came untied and he cracked his skull. I don't remember if that came first or the monkey bars came first.
The monkey bars was first.
So it was
and
after
the bunk beds.
it was after playing Tarzan that he got his head glued. The first time was stitches. Yeah.
That was horrible. I hated his head being glued back together. I wish they'd have just stapled him, stitched him, whatever.
Yeah, I had forgotten about that one.
See, most people would ask for a replacement of whatever their damaged item is.
I should have. Well, one of you guys, it was either Drake or Blaze, the babysitter was there, and you rolled off the couch. Must have been Blaze. Anyway, rolled off the couch and clunked on the floor. Fortunately, it was a carpeted floor. Unlike Blaze scaring Cheyenne, and she fell off the steps into the basement onto the concrete floor.
At
gave
Grandpa's
herself a
house.
concussion. That was Blaze.
Yeah.
Blaze scared her,
Yes.
and she fell off the stairs.
Yeah,
So,
no, I vaguely remember that one.
um,
You know what I vividly remember?
What?
Toddler Drake. Toddler Drake. I mean, had to have been like 2, right? Launching his miniature ass up and over the edge of the playpen. Just like, right? Doing a complete 180 in midair. So instead of being, straight up like he just launched, being like a SpaceX rocket and going ass up, and coming straight back down on his head in the gap between the playpen and the countertop right next to it. Like, perfectly sized. Just...
I don't remember that. I must have landed on my head.
No, but I remember my ass getting blamed for your dumb ass.
What are little brothers for?
I couldn't do anything about it.
You remember him taking off at the flea market? We looked all over that flea market, and he was at the table with all the toys.
Should have been the
I
first
had-
place.
We were.
I
we
mean,
were at the flea
realistically,
market.
yes.
Your dad had the table all set up. Blaze was a newborn, and I had to change his diaper. And Cole was supposed to be watching Drake, and Drake decided that he'd be a smartass, and he took off because he wanted to go play with the toys. You were like 5 rows away from us. And it was the guy that did maintenance for the swap meet, for the flea market. And he says, "Are you missing someone?" And I'm like all, because I'm looking for him. And I've got poopy ass Blaze because I was trying to change his diaper.
Oh, that is his nickname now.
Crystal's laughing in the kitchen. Now, another Blaze
What up, shit ass?
story. Another Blaze poopy ass story. I used to drink Coors beer. I no longer drink Coors beer. You know why I never drink Coors beer? You know this one? Yeah. And there's a reason I don't drink Coors anymore. Because we were going through Colorado and we were at Clear Creek. And it was the 3 of you boys. Because we only had the 3 of you. And so Blaze is like 2 years old. We're potty training him. He shit in his underwear.
And so this one once.
So I'm having to clean his shitty drawers in Clear Creek. Well, Clear Creek washes down into the Coors dispenser brewery. I quit drinking Coors. I have never touched another Coors since then. I will not drink Coors beer because whatever goes into Clear Creek goes into the Coors plant there. So yeah, not a fan of Coors beer. I call it shitty beer.
Well, to be fair, it is, but we may have had a literal contribution to that.
Let's be honest. I'm in Colorado, so I have to say this relatively quietly. Coors beer is piss anyway.
If you need to include a color-changing element on your can to show that the beer is cold and therefore drinkable, you do not have a worthwhile product. Meanwhile, I live in this state that proudly claims the nation's oldest and longest-running brewery.
Samuel Adams.
No.
No?
Yuengling Lager.
Which one?
Yuengling.
In all fairness,
that I did not know.
In all fairness, Cole, you're also in the oldest part of the country.
No, there were colonies at Plymouth and Eastern Virginia well before there were English colonies. Hang on. So, we often overlook the Dutch and Swedish North American colonies.
I was about to say, Newfoundland doesn't count. They didn't stay.
And Vinland way outdates all of them.
Which doesn't count because they didn't stay.
Well, they have found Viking stuff
neither did
here
Roanoke.
in Arizona.
Neither did Roanoke, but that's an integral part of early American history.
Wait a second. You're glossing over something Mom just said. Say that again, please, Mom.
They have found Viking stuff here in Arizona. In
That's
Phoenix,
wild.
I think. In Phoenix. See, and your dad's asleep. Because he would be able to tell you about that.
For the record, I'll speak for my father because he's not here. Dad loves history. Does not necessarily matter the period. He loves history. That being said, he also hates the English, but loves history.
Hey, Name something that feels British but isn't.
You got
What?
me.
Contents of the British History Museum.
The what?
The contents of the British History Museum.
Fair. Fair. Colonizes the entire world for spices. Uses none of them.
Unless you can't get there by boat. There are very few countries that have not been invaded by the British.
Yeah.
Uzbekistan being completely inaccessible by water.
Here's a dad story. I want to say it was my junior year, so 2011. Granted, this took place over a long period of time. There were commercials that he saw online and on TV for a game called Evany.
Oh.
Now, my father saw these commercials and said, "That looks like a fun game." If you don't already know, Evany still does ads. Evany is still a thing. Their ads are absolutely 100% nothing like the game.
Yeah.
Dad started playing this game and dedicated his entire fucking life to playing this game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, would not sleep to play this game.
We lived on frozen meals for a year because of that game.
In case you didn't hear her, little sister Crystal says we lived on frozen meals for a year because of that game, which sounds about right.
Yeah.
In this game, you build up a city, or multiple. For Dad, it was multiple. And you use that city to attack other people's cities. It's an online game. He joined an alliance, and the leader of this alliance went by the name Legend.
In this game, you build up a
Legend seemed to always be on when it was dark in our part of the world. Come to find out, Legend was English.
The leader of this alliance went by the name Legend.
Dad has a burning hatred for the English. Now,
It's dark.
he decided to leave this particular group of players and start his own. Yours truly happened to be part of the one that he started. And so
Young Guns.
Young Guns. And so was Blaze.
Legend Killers would have been way funnier.
We'll get to that part. Don't jump ahead in the story. It's not fair for everybody else. Blaze also played this game. He was not very good at it. He named one of his cities something that started with the words MAC and was always getting attacked and always losing. So we started the joke that they were always stealing his mac and cheese, which ended up becoming code in the game, just in case there were spies. The only one who was using spies was Dad. Dad got strategic. And what he would do is he would pick somebody from the group of players that he left and he would teleport right by one of their cities because there was an item that you could get in game that would do that. And he would absolutely dominate this player, take their city, and then teleport away before anybody could attack him. He decided that he was going to go after Legend himself, not because of how he played the game, not because they had some kind of argument, because he was English.
He decided that he was going to.
Does Dad still play that game at all?
Oh no, he quit when he played it for a year, and then he realized that the game was taking up too much of his time. I was always at work because I was forever there.
I mean, working
I
at
would-
Walmart, yeah.
I think I was at Family Dollar then.
2011?
I think. Oh no, I was at Walmart.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a rough time. But he played it for like a year and then he quit.
I popped into that game. I got bored and didn't have a computer that could play real games. I popped into that game. Oh, probably about 2 years later. And believe it or not, they were still talking about LJ Greywolf. They were using his tactics. Dad set a precedent in that game. He forever changed that game because of the dumb shit that he was doing. Send an attack with a single scout.
Okay.
And they look on it and say, oh, well, I mean, that single scout's going to lose. Then you give it an hour, maybe 2. And then you send 11 attacks with actual armies. But their thing's already dinging about a single scout. So they just ignore it.
And then he moved on to say,
And by the time they realize what's going on, Dad already stole all their mac and cheese.
I played similar games.
Ebony has not changed in 14 years.
Well, that's why we quit playing board games with him. I still, I watched you guys play Risk with him, but Risk was never one of my type of games. He did.
We'll get to yours in a minute, Cole, because I know what you're about to say. It took all of us, and by all of us, I mean all the siblings that were willing to play, to beat my dad so that we could have a regular game of Risk. Otherwise, it was a foregone conclusion, Dad is going to win.
Yeah.
Handily. A several-hour game would last about an hour.
by all the cities that need to play.
Unless he took his time, then it would last 2.
I still don't play Monopoly with him. He did actually sit down. We were teaching Jack how to play Monopoly, and he sat down and played some Monopoly with us. It was a quick game.
Let me
This
guess.
reminds me-
Dad won.
Yep.
This reminds me of a video where it's this person's time playing Monopoly, and it comes to the end, and he's crying.
Yes, yes. That pretty much sums it up.
That's every Monopoly game.
Okay, so your story, Cole?
I have been in the same game of Risk for over 3 years now. Unfortunately, I think one of the players died recently. Like, dude has not been on since the 2nd of November. It's the 24th. We've been in this game for 3 years, and dude just popped out of existence. Like,
Is there a
didn't
link
say
so that
anything
Dad could
cool.
join? He'll win in an hour.
No.
That's probably a good thing.
Actually, give me a moment here.
Okay.
And
Ooh,
I'll
while he looks into that, believe it or not, the ability to absolutely fucking dominate at board games is genetic. While I was in Club Weld, Monopoly was one of the things that we were able to do. I had the entire board, except for one space, and I intentionally kept this game going to the point the COs came over and said, "You are a sadistic fuck. Why are you torturing him?" This game was over in like 30 minutes. I kept it going for an hour. No one would play Monopoly with me after that.
Okay, so this particular 3-year game of Risk, it's worth noting that it's not on the classic board, it's on a much more modern, updated board, right? So
I had Lord of the Rings Risk. Dad still dominated.
the game is the game, right? It
Yes.
doesn't change. The map might, but the concept doesn't. So the site that I use has a map called World 2.1, which is a fairly accurate representation of the entirety of the modern world, right? The 2 players left, me and one other guy, who I've been in multiple games with, and so was the previous player who, I think might have passed. We are on round 1554. The
1,
next
5,
set of troops.
5, 4.
Yes. The next set of spoils that gets cashed in gets 6,268,775 troops.
Holy fuck.
Between the 2 players left, we have over 631 million troops. And I'm at the moment, previously I had been the top player, right, when we had 1.5 billion troops on the board. But things have changed, and there's now I'm the weak player out of the 2 of us with 303 million units on the board.
How many
So,
people
like-
are in the Earth? How many people are?
So like
on
Dad
Earth?
can bring it.
Don't issue that challenge. He may not be awake right now, but he'll know.
He'll feel it.
It would
Wait
not
tomorrow
surprise
with
me.
event.
It would not surprise me if we heard Dad's voice right now. I felt a disturbance in the force. Does somebody think they can beat me at Risk?
So you know,
Yes, Mark was there. Here, hold this.
as much as you're talking about him being good at board games, I'm in a 3-year-long game of Risk. I'm down and I am still winning.
You don't understand. The fact that it has taken 3 years means you're not winning. Because he can do it. He could win in under an hour. I don't understand it. It does not make sense. But he can do it. Hi, Jack.
Not necessarily by the rules of the game.
Yeah, not with the way this works. Each player has a 24-hour window to take their turn
Because you're playing with people potentially from all over
all
the
across
world.
the globe. Yeah.
What about you, Jack? You have any stories?
Actually, yes, I this is gone. Yeah. So one time, I was at my church, and we have playground, and I'm walking up, and my Crystal comes, and I'm like, and there was no honor. I'm like, what do I do? Jump? And it's like, hi, I just jump. Jumping.
That was a good story, little brother. Littlest of brothers.
Yeah.
He's the only one that doesn't have somebody to fight with. Well, Cole, you didn't have anybody. Well, yeah, you
At
kind of
first.
did, but not really.
Well, it just wasn't a fair fight when he was fighting because the age gaps.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doesn't matter. I am
No.
my father's son.
Yeah. I didn't tell the Popeye. Dakota and Carson fight story. They were
Okay.
supposed to because they went to online school, but they had to have PE. And they had to.
MMA does not count as PE. Come on now.
Yeah, I know. Well, they weren't supposed to be doing MMA. They were supposed to be running around the trail there. And
If I'm not mistaken, I probably ran the same trail many a times.
probably so. And I don't remember how it started, but Carson hit Dakota with the zipper and Dakota punched Carson in the nose. And I was getting ready to go to work.
I
Oh,
remember
Carson
that.
was swinging his jacket around. Yeah. And I was getting ready to go to work. And they came in, and Dakota said, I broke Carson's nose. And I laughed and said, I don't have time for this. I got to go to work. And Dakota said, no, I broke Carson's nose. And Carson came in like this, and Dakota punched him in the face and broke his nose.
I broke
Which
Carson's
means I had
nose.
money,
I need to go to work. No. I broke Carson's nose.
He did, and Carson had to have surgery to fix his nose, and it still doesn't work right.
That part I do
To this
not
day.
remember.
I had to take
Wow.
him. I had to take Carson to the hospital, and they checked his nose out, and Carson had to have surgery. I had to take him and have surgery on his nose.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Yep. Sure did. Carson, yeah, his smell and his taste is off to this day because Dakota broke his nose.
Well, a lot of people don't realize taste and smell are very much connected.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
He
yes.
has,
Cedric swears he hasn't had taste or smell for the past like 4.5 years since he got COVID for the first time. Which I'm still like, really?
I got bumped in the nose when I was in band, and it was a football player. Well, it wasn't an accident. I wasn't the person he was gonna hit, but I'm the person that
And
had it in my nose,
the
and
accidental.
it knocked my nose out of alignment, and I've been all screwed up ever since. But mine is just mostly with smell. Taste is not so much messed up.
All right, so who's got
The
a
fact
story?
that, you know,
Who's got a story real quick while I go stir my pasta sauce?
I've got stories about making pasta sauce. That's not entirely
we've been
true.
doing that a lot this year. Aromas actually came up pretty good.
Aromas are the only tomatoes that, well, no, the Super Sweet 100 did pretty good too.
Yeah. The cherries did good.
But yeah, we had a volunteer aroma that must have produced like 5 pounds of tomato.
Yeah.
Oh God,
It came in a pack of rosemary plants.
I'm about 5 hours
Um,
away from a 12-hour sauce, and
I don't have time
Okay.
for all that business. Mine comes out of a can or a jar.
Yes, but I don't
right.
make ketchup
I
and
intend to do mine
noodles.
too as well, but it's going to come out of a jar that I put it in.
Yeah, mine
That's
comes
what
out of
he
a
did.
jar from the
I'm
store.
assuming it's still coming out of the Prego jar.
So, there is a difference between pasta and ketchup and noodles. I make pasta.
Okay, Sean.
Mom makes ketchup and noodles.
Look,
Yeah, no, we don't do that.
you know what? I just don't have time for all that business. Just don't have time for it.
Well,
I mean,
see, you don't have to commit a whole lot of time to it. You grow the fruit, you spend a couple minutes a day outside checking on the plants.
it's a lot of commitment. Don't be confused. It's a lot of commitment.
I gotta hook
She's
my
not
phone
on
up.
mine.
So
Point that I was today where I was like, Cedric, what do you want for dinner? Okay, pop it in the oven then.
You take your tomatoes, you drop them into some boiling water, they float around for a couple of minutes, you pull them out, you drop them in the ice water. You pull them out of that, you pop the skin off. It's already cracked because you went from boiling water to ice water and the tomato inside did not shrink the way the skin did. The skin is cracked, it's easy to remove. You then take your now skinless tomatoes, throw them back into a sauce pot, add garlic, onion, oregano,
All the things.
thyme,
Whatever
basil.
herbs you're growing in the garden.
No, because shiso is going to be terrible. We're not growing shiso. She doesn't even know what that is. It's a Japanese plant. But like, parsley doesn't belong in a tomato sauce.
You don't complain when I add it to mine.
Anyway, all of the seasonings that you want to add to your tomato sauce, right? And you boil it down.
And if you're making a good sauce, you let it sit for 10, 12 hours on low, just doing its thing. And you just go and stir it every once in a while.
Make sure it doesn't burn and stick to the pane. Yeah.
It's already sticking, but that's okay.
It's already sticking.
Extra flavor.
Okay, Sean.
Clean glass jar, metal ring, metal lid, right? Little squeeze of lemon juice, fill jar with sauce. Lid goes on, ring goes on finger tight. Whole thing goes into water bath. Water bath for 35, 40 minutes. Pull out, cool, stick in pantry.
Banana jam. Do you remember the banana jam?
No.
I feel like you're not making a musical reference here, and I feel
No.
like banana jam absolutely should be.
So
I'm gonna wear a banana suit
No.
and improv something. Banana
I know
jam.
exactly. I want to see the video. I will post it on this channel if you do the video.
Brett Michaels dressed up as a banana on what was that, Masked Singer?
Why is that not surprising? How many times did he get sick during that performance? Because he could have won Celebrity Apprentice.
He
But-
did win Celebrity Apprentice.
Even though he was sick. Like had to go to the hospital a couple of times.
Yes, because he's
So-
diabetic.
Look at how we came full circle. Hang on, I think that's one of our penalties.
Should be.
Oh goodness, I think I got a little bit of tea left in here. Yep. It's not my Long Island iced tea. I can't drink that anymore unless I can find it unsweetened.
Short Island iced tea.
I mean, you could make it unsweetened. Banana jam.
Fucking great.
What?
So,
Short Island iced tea?
Yes. You don't fucking want it.
Apparently my mom does.
I do what? I missed that.
One of our friends, much longer term, her friend than mine, like I met him through her, passed a number of years ago. But you brought up Long Island's, and she's like, Burbeck's cursing you right now. You don't fuck with Long Island's because I made
Short Island.
I made the you're like, no sugar. I said Short Island iced tea. She's like, you don't fuck with Long Island's, right? Burbeck's cursing you.
Well, I was joking about the Long Island because of my Arizona teas that are actually made in New York there.
Yeah. Arizona tea. It's made in New York, like on Long Island. It is technically a Long Island iced tea.
Because I don't drink anymore. I haven't. It's been a few years since I've actually had anything to drink. I don't even keep liquor in the house.
I don't drink
But, like-
anymore either. Or any
Yeah, right.
less, but
Yes.
banana
But like,
jam.
if you remove
I've been trying to tell the story for the past like 5 minutes now.
Good luck.
No shit.
hey, look, something shiny.
I've got a story for that one too. Mom will remember it. She was there. Banana jam started as a joke between me.
This family.
It started as a joke between me and one of the neighbors at the house in Dumb Mountain, Little John.
Okay.
What?
We were hanging out. He was helping me, or I was helping him do renovations to the inside of his house. And he mentioned that he does jams. And I thought, well, peanut butter and banana is a really good sandwich. You know what would make it better? If it was
Yeah.
banana jam and peanut butter. So we made banana jam.
Okay.
And Mom probably still has some
That
in a
sounds
cabinet
good.
somewhere. I know there was still some on the counter
Yeah.
last time I was at the house in Dove Mountain.
Yeah, we
Probably
moved
wasn't
twice
good.
since then.
It probably wasn't any good by the time I was at the house in Dove Mountain again. But
Yeah, no,
I mean,
that sounds like it becomes alcohol real quick.
it was actually really good though.
I feel like it's banana jam for under a week, and it becomes banana mash within 2, and after that, like,
Just turn it into liquor.
a subtle application of heat.
Anyway, if you happen to make your own jams, make a banana jam. It is actually really
Need to work
good.
on right.
And if you're the person making vodka out of bananas, hit me up.
I don't care much for vodka, but hit us up. Send it to us. We will drink it on stream.
Banana vodka and songs.
Mulberry wine.
We could do that. That's a plausible thing.
We have
Grandpa-
mulberry trees.
Grandpa Lagnew used to make his own wines and stuff like that. He used to make sherry.
That's actually
Hey,
pretty
we're trying
funny.
to get to a production level of that. Like, maybe not necessarily the alcohols, but trying to get to production levels of.
Yeah, we don't have Grandpa Lagnew's amount of space.
Oh yeah, we have
Or fruit trees.
a
But-
tiny patch of Levittown that we're doing our best with, but it's tiny.
We're trying to make as productive a use as possible of our 1/8 of an acre, whereas Grandpa Lagnew had 2.
I mean, hey,
Right, so our house and plot is like the same size as his house.
Yeah, I was gonna say it. I was trying to tell Crystal how big his little garden was,
it was amazing.
but I might not have made it big enough. Thinking about it,
When I saw the property there,
Um,
and it was in disrepair by then.
by then, I'm not sure Grandpa Lagnew's property was ever in repair. Like, I love the man and I love the property.
Well, look at our garden. Is it really in?
Nope, it's the same thing, just much smaller scale.
I remember going there every once in a while as a kid because we'd go in between our moves and stuff like that. We'd always go back to Princeton.
Okay.
So it used to there was a time where it was really nice and kept up, but he also worked at the electric place, the electric motors place. And even when he should have been retired, he still worked at the electric motors place.
Yeah.
And then he just got too old for it.
Yeah.
So
It's the generation.
I know it's the wrong side of the family, but Grandpa should have been retired. He was still doing contracts for the military.
he still is.
Is.
Is?
I mean,
He still
fair.
is.
There's a story.
You know what?
Tell him
Hey,
about how
my
Grandpa came up with the
father,
MREs.
Oh, well, it's what happened was there was the new heater that was being designed to heat up the MREs, and Grandpa took it into the general's office because, you know, you got to brief your superiors. And he took it and he set it up and he lit it on fire, and then it burned the general's brand new desk.
Word of advice. You're trying to show something to your superior in the military? Don't burn his brand new desk.
He said,
There's
Neville,
never a
unless
better
you
way
want
to
an
make a
immediate
mark on your
discharge.
supervisor.
this is true. That he said, Neville, get that out of here. You ruined my new desk. And Grandpa grabbed his stuff and he left after the fire was put out on the desk.
And Grandpa grabbed his stuff and left, and then put out the fire.
I mean,
Wow.
to be fair, it is Grandpa.
When are we getting Tom on here?
That would be a hilarious story to have him tell.
Yes, it would. It is. What he,
Oh,
you know,
definitely.
the last time I talked to him, oops, shame on me. Need to call him again. I think it was last month. No, yeah, sometime in October, maybe September.
To be
No,
fair,
last month. Whatever.
to be fair,
We
I-
talked about that.
I haven't
We
spoken
spot
to him
here.
since I haven't spoken to him since I left Tennessee. Oh God, well over 10 years ago.
You need to
Yeah.
rectify
You
that,
might
dude.
wanna-
We do better than that.
You
And we
know,
are not the best daters by any means.
yeah, that's a Neville issue. Well, no.
You know, some people call it an issue, some people call it a feature.
That's
Okay,
also
that's a
very much a
feature.
Carter thing.
Yeah. Well, you know, with the Carters, most of us just don't want to talk to each other.
Also true.
Some people call it an issue, some people call it a feature.
With the Carter side of the family, I would very much say it's an issue. Do you know why there has not been a Carter family reunion?
Yes, because nobody can afford bail.
I was gonna say
We'd
there's
all
no
be in
jail
there,
big
there'd be
enough.
nobody to bail us out.
I was gonna say there is no jail big enough.
Yeah, that's true.
For those of you who are watching,
One wall is the Atlantic, one wall is the Pacific, one wall is the Rio Grande.
And we just blew them to Canada and hope to escape.
for those of you who are watching, the Carter side of the family does not always get along. And by not always get along, it was several of us would end up in jail.
Okay, so I have a Carter family story that is not mine, but was retold to us.
Okay.
And it's funny as shit, especially if you know Aunt Holly. Okay.
I may or may not.
Yeah. So, Holly, your Aunt Holly and your Aunt Christy were arguing over something. I don't remember what it was, but
Cousin Richard, if you're listening,
Christy-
this is for you.
Christy told Holly, "Give me the phone, bitch. I'm going to call the police." So Holly proceeds to pick up the phone and says, "Here's the phone, bitch." And she smacked her upside the head with the phone. So,
Sounds about right.
I could agree with that move potentially.
For the record, Mom, how many sisters does Dad have?
He is the oldest of 6 kids, so he had 5 sisters. But Aunt Christy has passed away, so he has 4 surviving sisters.
As Mom was saying earlier, open the door, and there's a lot of hair pulling and kicking, and you just shut the
Yep.
door.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Thank God I had a boy.
They always fought. They fought all the time, just like you guys.
It's not a bug, it's a feature.
Yeah, it's a feature.
Any Bethesda fans who happen to be watching, that one's for you.
I take resemblance to that.
So do I. I love Fallout and Skyrim. I've not played the other Elder Scrolls games.
Yeah. Nope. Elder Scrolls all the way.
We're about to end up in a fist fight. Fallout all the way.
Well, thank God you're half continent apart from each other.
To my knowledge, me and Cole don't actually, or didn't actually, fight that much.
No,
Mom?
No, because
No.
I'm 6 years older than you, and I wasn't allowed to fight with you about things.
that's right.
Which might not actually... yes, I wasn't allowed to fight with you. Because me and Blaze were allowed to get into a fist fight.
Right. I could literally pick you up and punch you across the room.
Yeah, the consequences were much different for him because of the age difference.
I do vaguely remember one incident at Grandpa's house. So you had the window that went into the kitchen. We were sitting there. I don't remember what it was. We got into an argument. I get pushed and end up in one of the stools. My phrasing on that was very particular. Do you remember what it was about?
No. No, I don't.
I want to say it was something like I'd gone into your room or something along those lines. For the record, Cole didn't live with the rest of the siblings. He lived with our grandparents.
No. Until I was about 10, I did live with you.
And then you decided you wanted to go to school.
No,
And
no,
then,
no,
like-
no, 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 no,
No?
no.
For 5th grade and 6th grade, most of it, I lived at Grandma and Grandpa's. And then for the back half of 6th grade and for 7th grade, I was with you guys on the other side of town. And then
And I
shit went
drove him
south. And I was... Yeah.
And I drove him out to the school every day. We were still traveling, and he should have been in school. He actually missed a year of school because we were traveling, and I said, that's enough. He needs to be in school. And so then he went to stay with Grandma and Grandpa so we could finish traveling and popping kids out all across the country.
I mean, wasn't there another argument that went along the same lines? If I'm not mistaken, Dad was let out at like a cornfield. Somehow he
no,
beat
it
us to
wasn't a
Tennessee.
Yes. I said, I am tired of traveling. There's not enough room in this vehicle for all these kids. I'm done. and your dad's turned into a big fight, and he said, pull over and let me out. So I pulled off at the next exit, and it was an abandoned gas station, and he got out and shut the door, and I left.
Wait, wasn't this in like Ohio or somewhere?
Yes.
So it was a cornfield.
No, it was an abandoned gas station out in the middle of nowhere. Unfortunately, there was no cornfield
In a
around there.
cornfield?
To anyone watching this from Ohio, sorry, your state's a cornfield.
Listen,
We
it's
have
not always
relatives.
like that. Sometimes it's beans.
We have relatives that live in Ohio.
Also Indiana, also Illinois, also Iowa. It's
Yes.
not always cornfields. Sometimes it's beans.
Yeah.
Think of a state. We more than likely have a relative there, whether we know about them or not.
Well, we have family on the Neville side that lives in California. It was, I don't remember which uncle it was. It was my great uncle, so your great great uncle. It was Grandpa's uncle. It was my grandpa Neville's brother. Yeah.
For the record,
It was-
I tried to kind of trace back. Granted, it was predominantly the Carter side, the family tree, and gave up because there are so many of us.
The Carter side, you hit a bump when you trace it back, though, because your dad's great grandmother was adopted because of a fire. I think.
Something along those lines. We actually did somebody, because we stumbled on somebody else's work where it got traced back, actually back to Ireland. We had traces back to Ireland.
Well, there is a relationship to the Shermans, to William Tecumseh Sherman.
Which most people
But
wouldn't.
that's actually that's on the Carter side, but it's not actually the Carters. That's the relative that branches off on Laurel's side.
Yes, we found that as well. For those of I've been drinking. Forgive me. For those of you who don't recognize that name, William Tecumseh Sherman would be General Sherman, who burned the South.
Atlanta. He burned down Atlanta.
He carved a swath through the South
from Savannah to Atlanta. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or rather, Atlanta.
He cut a swath through the South. I am very much a proud Southerner, so I wouldn't be necessarily telling people that in the South.
Yeah, well.
And this is where you and I differ, because I've never been a Southerner. And I lived in Tennessee for 20 years, and I've still am not a Southerner.
I was born in Tennessee. You were born in Deutschland.
He was born on American soil.
That is true. Yeah. But as I was saying, we do trace back to Ireland. And we lost it in Ireland. Did you know we're also related to Kodak?
I was unaware of that.
Which is kind of funny because I use a Canon camera.
I'm vaguely aware of where the, certain other aspects of our lineage lead to.
Well, now see your dad and his dislike for the English, but we are on the Neville side related to King Richard.
If you had said King Henry, I would have said sounds about right. Because Henry VIII
No,
was
King
known
Richard, the
for
lion-hearted.
it. Still,
Yeah, I was going to ask which one. Lionheart is Richard III.
Still sounds about right.
Isn't the Lanyo side also linked to Belgian royalty?
That I don't know about.
I had a
I know
I had a very difficult time tracing the Legnu side or the Neville side.
Really? Because, like,
I don't have a lot of that
Terry
information.
Yeah. Aunt Terry has the Lanyo Privet side all mapped out.
See, I wasn't
she
aware
actually
of that.
doesn't do genealogy anymore. So
Somebody's got that.
yeah, somebody has it, but I know that she did work on it. Now there's for grandma's side, the Lagny side is part French, part Belgian. For grandpa. So he's half French, half Belgian. I believe he was the first generation American. So
Right.
I am third generation and you are fourth generation Americans from Lagnu. Grandma Lagnu is part Dutch, part Cherokee. And I know that Grandma Lagnu always said that it was the Cherokee. But Aunt Terry said it's Choctaw or Chickasaw, but I always remember Cherokee. So there's a discrepancy there. But they were always, the Cherokee and the Choctaw, they got moved together on the Trail of Tears. Now, for the Carters, there is a link to us, to the family on the Trail of Tears.
So,
but
what
and then I don't
found,
know that much about the Lagnu, the actual Neville side, other than being related to King Richard. But Grandma Neville, my grandma, told me that Granny, my great grandmother, was part Cherokee also.
So, if anybody asks, I tend to say Cherokee Irish. There's a lot more to it than that. But I
Yes.
simplify it and say Cherokee Irish. It's predominantly the Carter side. But I found where the Carter side goes to what is now considered Cherokee lands in Oklahoma, which the Cherokee were very accepting of white folk. And you could be part of the tribe without necessarily being Cherokee. And that's kind of what happened. And then it's in there somewhere. If you were actually to look at me, you would say, yes. The paperwork isn't necessarily there.
Yeah.
I cannot show you a tribal card. But if you look at me, or my father, you would say, seems legit.
There is Aunt Ginger was rolled. Grandpa Jack did not believe that he needed a card to prove who he was.
Sounds about
But-
right.
But yeah, and your dad is the same way. He doesn't need the
Very
card to
much so.
prove who he is. He gets very angry over that card business.
Which is
But-
understandable.
But your dad's grandmother on the Carter side lived in Tahlequah. So she was Cherokee. Because you
Yes.
do not live in Tahlequah, the Western Band Cherokee capital, for lack of a better word, without being Cherokee.
Yes.
She lived on the Cherokee Nation.
What is now the Cherokee Nation? In history, Cherokee lands were massive.
Mm-hmm.
But the Carolinas, Tennessee, down into Florida, Cherokee lands were quite large.
Mm-hmm.
And then the government said, we're going to move you. We've got this thing, it's called Manifest Destiny. We're going to move you, hence Trail of Tears, to a relatively small patch of land in Oklahoma.
Here, these blankets.
Hmm?
Oh, and here, have these blankets.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, which at the time
Christmas.
wasn't called Oklahoma and was more or less organized, leaning towards the less.
Yeah, it ended up being called Indian Territory. It is now Oklahoma. I heard Crystal mention blankets.
She said, yeah, here and here, we're going to move you. And here, have these blankets. You know, the disease blankets.
There was a...
You
Go ahead.
and here have these blankets with the same energy as let them eat cake.
Yeah.
Yes. While I was in Club Weld, there was a gentleman. We called him Redbeard. I might actually have him on Facebook. I don't remember. He was the only person who could take me at risk. He was heavily Irish.
Because you haven't played me, also Redbeard and heavily Irish. Yo!
It was not my brother. He was not in Club Weld with me. I can remember Redbeard. I cannot remember his actual name, which is unfortunate because he was hilarious. But we were doing blanket exchange, where basically the CEOs would take your old blankets and give you new ones. And I looked at him and said, I don't know how I feel about the government giving me blankets. And even the CEOs thought that was hilarious. To be fair, y'all can't see it. My southerner's showing. I've been drinking. Y'all can't see it, but I've got significant hair. In person, I look very native. The camera doesn't do me justice. My arms look relatively tan. You might think, you spend a lot of time in the sun. No. I work at a gas station. Inside. or I'm down in my basement dungeon. Because my apartment's in the basement. That's natural. That's not tan. I have very dark skin because we are native. We have a lot of native blood from the Carter side.
Meanwhile, I go from ghost to lobster back to ghost.
Yes, Cole is. I've had people who are my friends ask me and mention, he doesn't look like your brother. To be fair, half brother. But growing up, half wasn't a thing. He's just
We don't use that word.
my brother. We have very much the same personality. We are very much sarcastic, pessimistic.
Right. Somebody that we know in common, separate from each other. Ledbetter.
Yes. Did not
And you met
realize
him
we were
after.
brothers. Did not realize we were brothers until he saw Grandma. Once he saw Grandma, he put 2 and 2 together and got fish and said, "Wait a minute. You're Timus's brother?" It's been a little while. Who's got a family story?
Let's call Ledbetter.
Very much, I would
actually,
say, get a hold of Ledbetter. Get him on. He's got a band. We will do an entire Scotch and Songs episode on his band. He has never seen the two of us in. I mean, it's the internet is the same location, so it counts. The same
time.
location. Yes.
It's at the same time.
Yes.
Turns out he still won't because you're 2 hours behind.
Irrelevant. You know what I mean.
Is it 2 hours now? Is it 2 hours
our
now?
time change. Our time difference doesn't change. It's just you.
That's fair. Arizona
get
doesn't
off it.
believe
Well,
in daylight savings time.
Yeah, I'm on the same time as Drake now.
Okay. Yeah, so it should be 2 hours now, and then when the time change occurs, it'll be 3.
Yes, in
That's
the
not
summer
intense.
we're on. In the summer we're on Pacific time, even though they say no, you're not on Pacific time. You're on Arizona time. Well, you know what? Our time is the same time as California. That makes us in the Pacific time. We're on Pacific time in the summer and Mountain in the winter.
You're always
Yes.
on Arizona time.
Yes.
That's why it's Arizona time. Yeah.
And
But it is very confusing.
Evidently, Big Brother, who is almost always late, is always on Hawaiian time. He gets here when he gets here.
For argument's sake, if I'm not getting paid for it, I'm on my own time.
And he could be getting paid for it. If you were to scan that QR
If
code
you
that is
scan the
just
QR
below
code.
me.
So they can come out and see their mother. Let's see. Cole, I haven't seen you since.
Before I moved to Philly.
No, I saw you in Philly once because I
Oh, yeah,
actually
shit.
did get to hold my grandson when he was a baby. So I haven't seen you since about 2011.
11.
Sounds about right.
It's real hard to
I
hold him now.
remember. Sounds about right. I remember Mom going out to the East Coast.
Yep.
I started my own travels in 2012. For the record.
Now I know that for you it has been next month it will be Jack is 11, so 11 years.
Sounds about right. Yeah. Shiloh was born June of 2014.
Yes,
Shiloh
and Jack was
is
born in
my daughter.
September.
Yes. And I've got pictures on Facebook of little Jack and his niece Shiloh on the same blanket on my Facebook.
Yep.
For the record, the Carter side of the family tends to have wanderlust. We like to travel, and we do so quite a bit. So up until I was about 7, I want to say it was like 99, 2000 when we finally settled in Tennessee because of the aforementioned argument apparently in Ohio. And
yes.
You never finished telling that story. The gist of it being Dad somehow beat us to Tennessee.
The interstate, I went from Ohio, I went into Kentucky, Eastern Kentucky. The interstate splits in Ohio. And I went one way and he hitchhiked the other interstate.
Being Tennessee born,
he beat me back.
Being Tennessee born, I have to say fuck Kentucky, but
now see,
Fort Campbell is ours. Damn it!
Hold up. Yes, Fort Campbell sits in Tennessee. The post office is on the Kentucky side, and that's why it's called Fort Campbell, Kentucky. But when it was Camp Campbell, it was Camp Campbell, Tennessee.
Yes.
Ask me how I know this. Not only did I grow up there, but I also used to buy my strings from the same place that sold one Mr. James Hendricks a guitar. Better known as Jimi Hendrix.
Where's my pen? There it is. So, I've upgraded from a sticky note. I've upgraded to a sticky note. I have a notepad. These are all potential future Scotch and songs. Subjects. I can tell I'm drunk because my handwriting is terrible.
I can tell I'm because my handwriting is terrible.
You didn't hear me say drunk?
I wasn't talking about you.
Oh. Well. Sir Hendricks, because he should be knighted, is now on the list.
Hey, do you have Silver Sun pickups on the list?
Oh, Jesus Christ. I haven't thought about that band since, when did we move from Dover again?
2007.
Since then.
Hey, you can feel free to deny me on this one. You know who's real underrated?
Silver Sun Pickups?
Jimmy Eat World.
I don't see how the two are related. You can explain that when we do Jimmy Eat World night, because I'm adding that one to the list. I had to go work on my car. I had to go work on my car earlier. Guess the song that I started playing to go work on my car.
Sweetness?
Negative. Try again.
Futures.
Strike two.
The middle would be the next one I would think of. It should have been the second one I thought of because, then it would have been in the middle.
A praise chorus. You were still wrong.
There's a lot of songs to choose here.
There are. I happen to like a praise chorus. I spent a good couple hours scrolling through YouTube with the line Crimson and Clover.
And Clover over and over. Our house in the middle of the street. Why did we ever leave? Kicked off my rock and roll fantasy. Yeah, no,
The only thing
11-10, I dig it.
the only thing that I could actually remember was Crimson and Clover over and over.
Over and over.
I couldn't I remembered it, but I couldn't tell you definitively what the words were, and eventually found a praise chorus, which was the proper song that I was looking for. Jimmy Eat World is now on the list. Silver Sun Pickups should be,
Yeah.
because in 06, 05, 06, I used to wake up at, 3 in the morning to go watch, I want to say it was Fuse, and the video for Lazy Eye played almost constantly.
Okay. Okay. Right. So you remember last week when we talked about Filter?
Yes.
So I got in the car the next morning and I went searching through my Spotify, and because Big Brother is always listening, and I was more than likely, as I am now, charging my phone, it did not take me any time. I mean, literally, I think I opened Spotify and immediately saw a recommendation for Hey Man, Nice Shot. Which, obviously, I clicked because that was specifically what we were talking about.
Who did it better?
And
Brass Against or Filter?
Yes. And I have not changed my Spotify station in over a week. Because what it's
Sounds
been
about
playing
right.
has been Filter, Coheed and Cambria, Jimmy Eat World, Incubus, Silver Sun Pickups, a single Mars Volta song, and I've been absolutely a Thursday, and I've been blown away by this mix. Silver Sun Pickups. Single Mars Volta song.
You know, you gave me the perfect segue. We've been talking about what
I
we're
usually
going.
do.
Yes. Mainly because I can take almost anything and turn it into a segue. It's a gift. Or a curse. Or a gift. Or a curse, I'm not sure. We have had 2 weeks in December that have been blank on my little sticky note here. I have to have a sticky note, otherwise I'll lose track and we'll end up doing anything. So, I have filled in those last 2 blanks, and you can veto me, and I'll have to scratch it out because I use a pen and write something else in. On the 8th, I want to do post-hardcore, the genre.
Okay, I feel you.
It's the day after
No
my
veto.
birthday. You're not allowed to veto that one. Post-hardcore was my high school.
Yeah,
On the
well, it's
15th.
a good thing you chose a genre that I actually enjoy. So,
Yeah, you'd
Anyway,
never
the
be able to
15th.
tell we're brothers. On the 15th, you can't do anything in December without Trans-Siberian Orchestra, TSO.
all right, I feel it.
And then on the 29th, Reddit Part 2.
On the 15th. And
Okay, the 22nd, we're going to church.
So we'll have a bye week. A bye week does not necessarily mean that I won't be streaming. I am not going to church. But there will not be a Scotch and Songs on December 22nd. Which means y'all get to watch me play a random game. I don't know what right now. Maybe Cousin Richard will join in. I don't know. But there will not be a Scotch and
Hey.
Songs on the 22nd.
oh,
I had an idea lined up here. It's on my calendar. He doesn't know what I'm meaning by this.
maybe that's rich.
It's not church songs.
Thank the baby Jesus.
What a
What
night
you got?
to not have a kid from baby Jesus.
What you got, big brother?
All right, hang on. Let me work in backwards order here. Do you know Sweet Baby Jesus?
I don't think so.
The next time you're in a beer store or a grocery store that sells beer, or wherever you might
Not
buy
in Holyoke.
low grade, there is a particular beer named Sweet Baby Jesus.
Not
It
in
is a
Holyoke.
peanut butter. It is a peanut butter chocolate porter. You ever got drunk on Reese's?
Me personally, no. I know Mom used to love chocolate.
Yeah, rub it in.
Hey, you know what's also terrible when you're diabetic? Alcohol.
Fair.
That I don't have a problem with.
She doesn't drink. Borderline alcoholic. And
You ever got drunk on Reese's?
by borderline alcoholic, I mean typically I only drink on Mondays. These days I only drink on Mondays. Why do I drink on Mondays again? Oh yeah, Scotch and Songs.
Bryce purified drinking water.
If you're gonna get drunk on something, do it on drinking water. Or, again, rubbing it in. Southern style sweet tea.
In my mind, I'm flipping you off.
I mean, you could do it in reality. I'm used to it.
A brief lesson in Slavic languages. Voda, water. Vodka, vodka. Voda, water. Vodka.
Potato water.
I used to drink vodka. I used to drink a
Hold on.
lot of things.
I won't do vodka anymore.
I still do, but I also used to.
I won't do vodka anymore. His name is Dylan. I have not seen him in a long time. He is my son. I will not drink vodka anymore. That's the only excuse I have for his mother. Here's a dad story. When he heard that me and Dylan's mother had split up, not that her legs ever did, his exact words were, "Good, you can do better."
Here's a dad story. When you
Luckily, it doesn't show on camera. I am lobster red right now. Who else has a family story?
Well, let's see. Well, did I ever tell you about the time? No, I can't tell that one.
With the same
Germany sure
energy
was
as
fun.
one time at Google Camp?
Yeah, no, I started to, and then I thought,
Wait, no.
Did I ever tell you about the time that I lost my shoe in Germany in the snow?
I feel like I know this one. I was hoping for more like, Drake and the Fire Ants in Florida, but okay.
I don't remember Drake and the Fire Ants in Florida.
I'm intrigued in both. We'll start with Mom losing her shoe.
Okay, so in Germany, the Germans will sell you beer.
Because
You have, yeah, it's just different over there. Although we were Americans and we were supposed to go by American laws, which meant we had to be 18 to buy alcohol. And I
what, are you
was
from New Jersey?
Well, back then it was 18.
Hold on just a second, Mom. I'm not even going to say your username. Cole, if you're watching the chat on YouTube, you'll see why. But this is
I hadn't been, but hop in.
Thank you for that. My youngest brother watches this. My mother is a guest on this. No. You were saying, Mom.
So we would go out to the clubs as teenagers, 16, 17 years old, and we would get shit-faced because if you can see over the bar, they will serve you. Even though we were Americans and we were supposed to follow American laws, stuff happens, right? We were teenagers.
What happens
We'd have been drinking in the
stays in
States.
Germany.
Well, now I brought it home with me. So
hi, Cole.
So we were out at this dance club and we got plastered, me and my best friend Gina, and on our way home we were walking through the snow and everything, and I had to stop and go pee, and then we started walking again, and I got home and I only had one shoe on, and so we went back and looked for my shoe. I never found it. But until recently, Grandma didn't know because, well, neither Grandma or Grandpa knew. But I never did find my other shoe. but I had 2 pairs of shoes that looked exactly the same, so they never knew that I lost my shoe.
If we're being completely honest, Grandpa would have never believed that story anyway.
Oh, he does. No, see, when I was growing up, I had Uncle Tim there always to protect me and stuff like that. So I was always quiet and shy, and I all through school I was Tim's sister. And then we got to Germany and I said, woo! I became myself and I was the wild child, always in trouble.
Is
I
there
was the
not?
wild child.
We've been picking on all the siblings, but is there not a you and Uncle Tim story?
Yeah, yeah. Um,
How about that door in Killeen?
oh, Uncle Tim and I were very abusive to each other. And
It's a
I,
family
being
trait.
as he was, being as he was older and stronger, I usually was the one that suffered the consequences. And so I went outside and Uncle Tim locked the sliding glass door and I told him to let me in and he said no. And I said, if you don't open the door, I'm going to kick it in. And he said, no, you won't. And so when Grandpa came home and saw that the door was shattered because I put my foot through it, he told me that door ain't ever going to be right again. That door will never be the same. And I don't know if it's the same or not, but I sure did put my foot through that window.
No, you won't. So I made him a liar.
Yes, and I put my foot through the sliding glass door, and my fat little ass hid under my bed. How I squished myself under there, I don't know, but I did. And that's where I was hiding from Grandpa when he came home, was under my bed. And yes, I got my ass beat for that because I broke the sliding glass door.
for
Yeah.
for the record, that is my mother now. My mother is very thin. Which most people would say,
I
and
mean,
you've had 6 children, 7 children, 8 children. How many ever
I mean,
have?
you say now, there's never a point in my memory that I can argue that. So, you know,
Well, after I had you, I weighed 180 pounds when I was pregnant with you, Cole. And so after I
Yeah,
had you, I
it's because I'm a
retained a
fat
lot of
ass.
weight and I was a little bit on the hefty side for a while, for a long while.
To my knowledge, that has always been Mom.
Um, you know, Kate was 98 pounds when I met her and broke 150 like the day before Cedric was born. So,
Yes. Yeah.
I'm surprised. Like, and the day after Cedric was born, she was back down to like 120.
I carried the weight for a
8
long
of that
time.
was baby, 25 of that was water.
I carried a lot of weight for about a year after I had you. So yeah, I'm at about 135 now.
I want to say, actually, Ash was sitting about 135 when I met her. Or when we got back together after finding each other on Facebook. She was probably sitting at about 135. And that was pre-Shiloh. I know when we split up, she was probably sitting about 180.
She was probably sitting about 135.
Well, she also had another baby. Wasn't she pregnant then with Stessie?
I didn't know that, but yes. Pre-Stessie, she was sitting at about 180.
I carried a lot. I carried my weight for a while. So
She carried Shiloh's weight for a while, and then Stessie, and I don't know what she's at now. I haven't seen my ex-wife in going on 10 years. Actually, at this point,
that would be about
7.
right.
It's been about 7. Eight. 8 years. Who else has a family story?
Realistically, I need to be looking at hitting the hay because I've got my last day of work tomorrow before Thanksgiving, and it is pushing on midnight.
He did tell a little bit of the story.
Holy
fire
shit!
ants.
Yeah, it's been going on 3 hours. Yes,
fire
fire
ants.
ants.
Hey, fire ants, right? This is a much less exciting story. Unless you're me, and it's hilarious. So in
You can go fuck yourself.
somewhere midst of the Great Travail, we had found ourselves in Florida. What part of Florida? Yes. I remember
Yeah, we're
manatees.
related.
I remember Black River. Right? And like I say Black River, I'm pretty sure it was called Black River.
Manatee
but the
Springs.
water was Hey,
Manatee Springs. If we
sounds
saw
like
the
Blake.
manatee, it was Manatee Springs.
Okay. So that was one side, and then maybe it was a different place, maybe it was the other side of the park, but also Black River, where there was a river that was literally fucking black, right? And I don't know if you know the clip
That wasn't
of
the Cumberland?
the-
Holy shit.
No, the Cumberland's green.
That's worse.
So famously, there's a clip of this Cajun woman who's like, I can tell you by the feel of the water if there's gators in the water. And she's like, what you gotta do, right? You gotta go down to the water's edge. You gotta stick your hand in the water, right? You feel that water feel wet, there's gators in that water, right?
Sounds about right.
So like Black River, those vibes. The other side of the park, from what my fragile memory tells me, was Manatee Springs. You're right, Mom. That actually does ring the bell. And so like we had been to Manatee Springs before, and we went back to Manatee Springs after.
Speaking of ringing bells, kind of like that subscribe bell with notifications, so you know when the next Scotch and Songs episode comes up.
Wow. And,
Sorry,
and
saw an
if the bell's
opportunity.
ringing, you should also scan that QR code. So anyway, we're at Manatee Springs, and I had taken quite the liking to shuffleboard. Meanwhile, a certain younger sibling of mine, it's worth noting I have no older siblings, so a certain younger sibling of mine had decided that he had taken quite the liking to just wandering across whatever the hell he could.
I
Which in
resemble
this
that
case
remark.
happened to be, uh, running around a cedar tree. Cedar. Some sort of evergreen. Florida. Maybe a cypress? No. We weren't on the water's edge.
I live in
Possibly a
Colorado. Sounds about right.
Well, I don't recall what happened next. Right? Whether it was me who noticed, or Drake who noticed, or Mom who noticed. But while he's playing in the shade of the base of this tree, he finds himself covered in ants. Okay. But what I do recall is Mom recognizing what kind of ants these are that are now crawling all over Drake. Because unlike the small little black ants that are everywhere,
Specifically in your house, because you nasty.
hold up. Specifically, I live in Levittown, and those ants are in everybody's houses because all of our houses are built on the neighbors' house building refuse, right? And have been for the last 70 years. So,
in other words,
no. There's nothing we can do about that part. Our houses were built on the pile of scrap wood left over from building the house next to us.
continue with your
What happens to
story,
that
big
scrap
brother.
wood? Okay, so, now Drake is underneath this evergreen of whatever kind, completely covered in ants. Not the small black ones that are everywhere, but the big red ones that look very angry. And Mom happens to catch sight of this, and or earshot warning of this, and realizes that, oh shit, he's standing on a fire ant nest. And the next thing I know, Mom has scooped up 2.5-ish, 3-year-old you, and is running full speed for the showers. Because this is like RV park, camper park style, right? So luckily there were showers. Otherwise, you feel that water wet, these gators eating fire ants tonight.
I do
On a
vaguely
lighter
remember
note,
that.
manatees.
So,
I do vaguely remember that. Mom wasn't terrified, running you full speed. I mean, Marshawn Lynch couldn't run this fast. Full speed, taking your ass into the showers.
we call those repressed memories. They're down there for a reason.
Wild how one man's repressed memories are another man's.
Look at my stupid little
Hilarious.
brother memories.
Next week on Scotch and Songs.
Speaking of which, next week on Scotch and Songs, I've been drinking, if you can't tell, hence the first part of that name.
I'm sorry, that was last week on Scotch and Songs. Also this week on Scotch and Songs.
Mr. Scott
Also next week on
Weiland. And why are we doing Scott Weiland on the first?
Scotch Weiland. Yeah, that's what I heard. That's what you said.
Sounds about right. Oh, I'm sorry. That would have been heroin Weiland.
Oh.
And I love STP. I really do. We'll be covering Mr. Scott Weiland. Because it'll be as close as we can get to and still be on a Monday, the 10-year anniversary of his death. I love STP. I love Scott Weiland. He was one of my favorite vocalists. I'm not seeing them on my list, but they should be. We'll probably bring Mom back when we do Alice in Chains night. You couldn't tell by her little celebration there. I love Alice in Chains as well. Mainly because me and Mom will listen to Alice in Chains while in the car. And we'd be listening to Alice in Chains and see a sign that says something about squirrels. And it may not have said something about squirrels, but hey, squirrel. While we're doing her rather large shopping checklist. You got something to say, big brother?
Sorry, you're Alice in Chains, and I've got the drumbeat to Wood playing on repeat.
Yeah, that'll be on that particular list. You can't do Alice in Chains night and not have Wood. Anyway, me and Mom used to jam out to Alice in Chains on trips to the grocery store. And then see a sign and get distracted because, Mom, hate to break it to you, you might have ADHD.
Hey, look, shiny.
Fun fact. I probably do too. It's genetic. No, I remember going about the shopping circuit because we would go to like Albertsons for meat, and then Fry's, and then another Fry's. That's Kroger for those of you who live in areas where it's Kroger, or if you happen to be in Colorado, King Soopers. I still call it Kroger. And what was the other one that we went to?
We would do the Walmart neighborhood market.
That was on Ina, yeah.
Yeah.
So, hit Kroger, if I'm remembering correctly. Hit Kroger, jog south, hit the neighborhood market, then over to Albertsons, then back to the house. Between one of the three, I would make a comment about, oh, this particular pastry in the deli looks, in the bakery section, looks pretty good, and we would make sure to eat it before we got back to the house because Dad would not be happy about that. But
yeah, as one does.
Pre-diabetic.
Listen, the giant near me does pretty good sushi. And if I'm off on Wednesday and going to the grocery store, sushi is half price on Wednesday.
I actually got. If she's still up and listening, she'll probably chime in. Pretty much all of my siblings, including Miss Crystal, eating sushi.
No, not Crystal. Not sushi. Crystal's picky.
She has
She
always
doesn't
been
eat-
very picky. Was she the only one that wouldn't try it?
Yes.
All of my
But, like-
siblings, except for Cole and Crystal, apparently, because Cole wasn't there and Crystal wouldn't try it, eating sushi.
Well, and I found it on my own. But like Ebby? Really? No Ebby? It's cooked shrimp on rice.
She's in camera now. Still not gonna try sushi?
No. You know there's a story behind why I don't eat fish too, right?
I mean,
Oh, do you need to come closer and tell your won't eat fish story?
So it's specifically, do you remember how when I was a kid, we always in my room had a bunch of fish? Like a bunch. Always getting new ones because they commit suicide by going in the filter. Anyway, well, when we were in Dove Mountain, one of the times Mom got fish-shaped fish sticks because, that's cute. And it would be. But I had the question.
Oh no.
Me, with my love of the fish, had the question, what are fish sticks made out of? And I never ate fish again. Because the fish sticks were fish shaped.
Hey, Mom. Remind
Whoops.
me. Remind me next time that we decide to have you on to make some ahi poke.
I'll order takanigiri and tobiko and maguro and probably some ebi. Ooh, unagi.
Cole. I live in
It's
Holyoke.
a whole lot of soup.
I live in Holyoke. Ahi poke, I make. Anything else, I would have to make. Ahi poke is easy. It's rice
Oh yeah, it's just
and tuna, and I mean scallions and some other veggies, but that's ahi poke.
yeah.
I could also do taco poke,
I literally,
but I would have to travel somewhere else to get the taco.
I can't do taco.
Really?
I'm allergic.
Really? That is unfortunate. My first experience with poke was taco poke.
Yeah, I can't do taco. I'm allergic.
I've had 0 authentic ahi poke. I've always made it myself. That's octopus for those of you that don't know. You're allergic to octopus?
Yeah. Which is wild because calamari is fine. Like I've never had a reaction there. One year for my birthday, I had a chorizo stuffed calamari. Right? Chorizo stuffed squid. Wow. Flavor explosion.
That's I mean, I don't care much for
But-
chorizo, but
But I can't do octopus.
huh.
Every
Interesting.
time. Every time it fights back.
Interesting.
Anyway, speaking of fighting back, I really do gotta roll. It is post midnight. My alarm goes off at 4 a.m. I'm sorry. You know,
As the old man would say, 4 a.m. comes early.
done it though. Just sorry. It's
All right, Mom. I'll
East
leave it
Coast.
up to I'll leave it up to you. You want to keep going? Keep talking shit about Cole?
Whoa.
I don't talk shit about my kids. Oh,
No,
Alright.
never.
they're starting.
Going home. But you're already home. Do you guys? I'm going to bed.
Remind me if you ever make the trip up to Colorado, we got to go up to Fair Play.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Anyway, I'm out. I'll see you. Sorry.
Bye,
Good
Cole.
night.
We'll see you next week.
Bye,
Bye.
Jake.
All right. Please tell me you have an embarrassing story about Cole before we end this. Don't tell me he was the good child.
Well, he didn't have as much opportunity to do embarrassing things because, he stayed with grandma for so long, but grandma and grandpa.
So, in other words, we need to get either grandma or grandpa on here to tell embarrassing stories about Cole.
No, grandma's off well, grandpa wouldn't get on here, but grandma's off limits because then she'd tell embarrassing stories about me too.
Copy that. Send grandma a message on Facebook. Okay.
Yeah. Then you might get a visit from me a little bit sooner than what you expect. I'll bring my bulldog with me.
Copy that. Future episode of Scotch and Songs, Drake gets his ass beat by his old man. I would say, please tell me you have an embarrassing dad story, but Dad doesn't have embarrassing stories.
No.
All right. You want to give us one more story before we end?
I have to tell a story, huh?
Drunk after that party, he lost his hat, so he still looked for on the side of the road.
Okay, Crystal said one story about Dad. So we had come up.
See what happens when you.
Okay.
Do you see what happens when you go to sleep early and miss Scotch and Songs?
So we had Crystal's birthday here where we're at now, in not this house, but you were here, and we had come up. We had the party at Brian and Julie's house, Crystal's birthday party. It was 16, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was her 16th birthday party.
Was that right before I came to Colorado?
Yes.
Okay.
And so they were passing drinks around. What was it that he gave?
I don't know, but it was one of the heavier liquors.
I think it was Firewater.
Something like
I think it was the Fireball. And they were drinking and trying this liquor, and your dad doesn't do liquor. There's a reason your dad doesn't do liquor.
Well, to be fair, I don't do Fireball. Come to find out, I don't do well with cinnamon. Are you sure it was Crystal's 16th birthday, not Jello shots? On the 4th
It was.
of July.
Oh, I know which one you're thinking about. I'll have to save that.
2 stories. Okay. 2 stories. All right.
So, we were here, and he got plowed. They were drinking real heavy and everything, and I had just had Jack, so I wasn't drinking. And somebody had to drive home anyway, because it's like an hour drive, hour and
So,
a half.
Brian is, or at least was, Dad's like best friend. At one point in time, we were neighbors. Brian's daughter Amy was pretty much one of my sisters. Just clarification.
Yeah. And so on the way back home, the fireball hit your dad, and he rolled down the suburban window. You remember now, don't you?
No, I do not.
No.
But that sounds about right for Fireball.
And so he rolled down the window and stuck his head out the window and proceeded to make a mess on the suburban. But then everybody was yelling at me, "Mom, Mom, Mom." And I was like, was the window rolled up? Did it come back inside? And they're like, no, Dad lost his hat. His hat, with the nice beaded hat band that he had.
I was not there for that.
You were.
I don't think he was in our car.
You weren't in the vehicle with us. There was, because Shara was here, wasn't she? You rode with Shara and Dwayne.
No. Because Shara and Dwayne, Aunt Shara, sorry, was booted from the house after Shiloh was born. Because she got rid of Shiloh's ultrasound photos. That would not have been there. I have not seen any of the houses in San Manuel.
Yeah, but it's not the house that we lived in. We still lived in Dove Mountain. But you guys were with us.
To be completely honest, I don't remember that. I personally may not have been there.
No, you were with us. But anyway, neither here nor there. So anyway, Dad sticks his head out the window and his hat blew off, and we still look for the hat on the side of the road, even though it's been years.
For the record, oh shit, I need to go get it then. Hold on just a second. Anybody who may or may not have seen me play knows I happen to have my own hat. But, you know what I'm not actually wearing whenever I'm sitting in a car? You guessed it. My hat. It always goes on the dashboard in front of me. Or in the seat.
Yeah, but your dad always wore his hat. What's the other story?
Jello shots.
Oh, yeah. Actually, it wasn't Jello shots. It was kamikazes.
It was kamikazes. 4th of July. If I'm not mistaken, the last Dove Mountain block party.
Yeah, it was the last block party, yeah. And Dakota was jumping in the bouncy house. No, your dad had gone back to the house. We were with Jeannie and Jeff.
Yep.
We were in there drinking kamikazes.
And Little John. Little John.
Yeah.
And Big John was there at one point. Little John was Big John's son. They lived like right across the street from each other. They were both there. If I'm not mistaken, Little John may have been the responsible party for the kamikaze shots.
Oh no, it was most definitely Jeff, and he was the one that was making them, and he makes a good kamikaze. So we were going and drinking these kamikazes, and
I
everybody's
don't
got
do
plenty.
mixed drinks, so I wouldn't know what a good kamikaze is, but
I did mix drinks, and yeah, it was excellent. And your dad was drinking them, and he was like, it wasn't hitting him, so he was drinking more, and he was like, oh yeah, these are good, but I'm not feeling anything. Then he went to go to the bathroom, and he didn't come back, and then Dakota was jumping in the jumping castle and put his teeth through his lip, and so I took him home, and I was in there taking care of his mouth and everything, and I was like, I haven't seen your dad for a while. And I went and checked, and he was passed out in bed. He'd gone home, and he went to go to the bathroom, and he just never came back because he drank so many kamikazes. When they hit him, he was out like a light.
I thought he was next to the porcelain throne. So
No, he managed to make it to bed, but he was out cold.
being someone who has spent a lot of time in college bars playing music or doing camera work for people playing music, mixed drinks will get you like that. That's why yours truly doesn't do mixed drinks. Also, possibly my old man saying, "Really? You mix your drinks? Interesting. Do you like men?" Being a thing may or may not be part of that.
Well, now that was certain drinks, like fruity drinks and stuff like that, because your dad and I used to. Oh man, did we drink a lot?
You're touching on something that may or may not be a good last story.
Well, when we first got together, we in the in Bel Air, we drank the buttery nipples. Oh man, I can't tell you how many times I got
Hey,
toasted
Mom.
off that stuff.
Why don't you tell a story about how you and Dad met? If I remember correctly, the parts that you would actually tell, remember you are on the internet. People will know. So, how did you and Dad
Well,
meet?
I worked in the bar, and he went out with somebody that would come in, and on weekends we would have live bands, and he was going out with a girl that would sit at the groupie table, and usually I was their waitress. And
just
so
just for context, what was the old man doing at the time? Don't ever tell him I called him the old man. He will jump through the camera to beat my ass.
actually he had just gotten out of the army when we met. He
My
had only
father
been out
was
like
my father was 5th group Army, which means he was SF.
he was a
Special
Green Beret.
Forces, Green Berets. I certainly did not hear that all 18 years of me growing up.
So anyway, he and his girlfriend broke up, and one night he came in, and I was in there. I'd just gotten off work, and then we started going out. I lost my train of thought there because there was one.
If I remember correctly, there was a bet.
Yes. Well, okay. So there was an ongoing bet with me and some of the other waitresses because your dad was really good looking and he was built nice
So it's
and
genetic,
everything.
you're saying.
Yeah. And well, we made this bet one day because he was kind of mysterious. We didn't know what he did. We didn't know at the time that he had just gotten out of the military because, he doesn't talk a lot about it, or didn't back then.
Even growing up, he didn't talk much about it. I know he was in.
No.
He was a Green Beret. He was 5th group. It wasn't until later that I learned the reasons why he didn't talk about it much, which would be one of his friends not making it home.
Yes. And also in 5th group, you just didn't talk about things. There were a lot of people in the club that your dad knew that I didn't know that he knew because they don't talk about stuff like that.
To be fair, Dad knows everyone, even people he hasn't met yet.
Yeah.
I remember times at the swap meet where he would talk to somebody like he was their best friend, and only come to find out later he was just trying to sell them some bullshit. He was very good at that.
But they didn't. They might have all come in because I knew different batches of 5th group, which actually takes me into a second story, but I'll loop it all into one. Anyway, one night the waitresses and I were talking about it. We didn't know what he did or anything, but we made a bet to see who could go out with him first.
That is a very YouTube safe way of putting that. And also,
yeah.
I am your child. I don't want to hear the actual reason.
Yeah, well, I won the bet. Sometimes I wonder if I actually won or if everybody else won and I'm the one that lost, but I'm the one that ended up with him. But
and after all these years, you're still together.
And after all these years, we're still together. 34 years now. So one night we went in there and because I had biker friends, because it was kind of a biker bar. The owner was a biker, and a lot of the security people were bikers, and some of them were military.
Funny
or
how
former military and stuff like that. So anyway,
funny how those two groups interlap.
Yeah, well, the bikers were VNBMC, Vietnam Vet Motor Club. So one of the guys I know came up and asked me if I was going out with your dad, and I said yeah, and he said his name was Gypsy. I don't know his real name. His name was Gypsy. That's what we called him. That was his biker name, Gypsy. That's what I knew him by. And he says, does Groundhog know that you're going out with this guy? Has Groundhog approved this relationship? And I said, well, not that I know of. And he was like, well, and he went and he got Groundhog and he's like, did you know that she's going out with him? And then he's like, I'm thinking, oh crap, that's not going to be good. Because at one point I thought that they didn't like each other because your dad walked into the bar and Groundhog was like, I got to go before I get in trouble. And I put this guy in the ground, and your dad had come in the door, but it was actually the guy that came in like right before him that Groundhog was talking about. But anyway, Gypsy goes and talks to Groundhog, and they come out and they're laughing and joking. They knew each other because they were both in group together. Gypsy wasn't in group, but Groundhog was. So
I was waiting for you to say, and that would have been Matt, who would be your godfather.
No, I knew your dad knew Matt. I met Matt not long after that because he wasn't actually there was he? I don't know. I don't know where he was when we first got together, but Matt didn't come in the club with him. But
For reference, I have more than likely met Matt, but I was more than likely very little at the time, like not
very little.
conscious thought at the time.
The last time we saw Matt, that you would have been there, we had Blaze, and Blaze was little, so you would have been like maybe about 2 or so. It was before we started traveling.
Not conscious thought.
Conscious. Yeah.
The earliest time that I actually remember would have been about the time that we moved in on Eagle Street, the trailer.
The trailer.
And it would have been around my birthday. I only know that because Pokemon was big, and I remember getting Pokemon little figurines for my birthday. There are sporadic little things I remember before that. For instance, the powder blue convertible that we mentioned earlier. And Spock. I got Spock for one birthday. And something's telling me Pigeon Forge.
Oh, Pigeon Forge was Christmas.
That, I mean, my birthday's in December. It's in like a week or 2.
That was
so.
That we stayed in the Travel Lodge in Pigeon Forge, and that was Christmas Eve that we stayed there. It was beautiful.
Speaking of holidays, it's only apt considering her birthday is coming up shortly. Little sister Crystal, how about when you were born? Obviously, you don't remember. We haven't embarrassed her yet.
Well, we were in California, in Tahoe, and we decided that we were going to stay in South Lake Tahoe overnight because we could get the room real cheap. And the next night, being Thanksgiving, the room rate went up to $100 a night, whereas we were getting it for $35. So we were going to stay the night and leave on Thanksgiving Day and head back home towards Tennessee. And I always joked around with the guy in the office, because we stayed there a lot when we traveled to there, about if I went into labor with her, because I was obviously pregnant. If I went into labor, that all I had to do is call the office, because he was also a paramedic. Well, that particular night he wasn't on duty, which we found out the hard way. When I went and took my shower, and I was sitting when I was in the shower, I started to go into labor. I started having contractions, and I came out, and I was trying not to have contractions because we were only supposed to be there overnight. I didn't have time to be having a baby, and it was a little bit early anyway, a couple weeks. And your dad looked at me and he said, "You're in labor, aren't you?" And I said, "I'm trying not to be." And so I said, "But the guy in the office, he told me to call if I went into labor." And so we called the office, and he happened not to be there. But in California, when the ambulance comes, so do all the like little paramedic trucks and the big ladder trucks. They all come. So it's midnight in this hotel, and the ambulance comes in, the paramedic truck comes in, and the big ladder truck comes in. And I told him, they asked me if I wanted to go on the stretcher, and I said, no, I'm going to have a little bit of dignity now that everybody's up, and I'm going to walk out there. And so I managed to walk out there. We make it to the hospital, and the OBGYN doctor was out camping with his family, so they had to call him in. And they were like, don't push, the doctor's on his way. And then the phone rings and the nurse turns around and answers it. And she turns around and says, the doctor, oh, there's the baby. I didn't push. So she was born on Thanksgiving Day that year.
Crystal makes her own time.
You know, she's just like the rest of you. She's stubborn. She was ready to come, and that was it.
It's a Carter family trait. I remember something about food stamps, and I want to say Burger King. For the record, Tahoe was not necessarily the biggest of towns back then. Granted, still, it's Lake Tahoe. It's a resort town, but not necessarily the biggest of towns. I've not been to Tahoe that I can remember. Since little sister Crystal, how old are you now?
Turning 27.
Turning 27.
27 years. That I can remember anyway.
It wasn't. The car broke down, so we actually stayed there longer than just overnight. They worked out a special deal with us, and Grandpa had to pay that because we made our money selling your dad's stuff and traveling around. And guess what? Oh, it was Thanksgiving. There was no place open to make the money, so we got help with getting gift certificates for the Burger King, and the car was broke down, so your dad had to walk to the Burger King, and I think it was like 2 miles each way or something like that. It was a long way away. And just because, we needed the extra issues at the time, not only was the car broke down, but it snowed. And when it snows in Tahoe, it snows in Tahoe. Like snow up to my ass snow. And your dad had to walk.
Lake Tahoe is in the mountains. So it's not snow. It's mountain snow. It is mountain snow. High altitude. It's raining down at I'm not even at
San Bernardino.
It's raining down in Greeley. But that means it's snowing up in the mountains.
Yeah. So it was a lot of snow, and he had to walk all that way in the snow. And so by the time he got back with the Burger King, it was cold. But nobody complained.
Fair. So, I actually have a sticky note that I completely forgot about until just now. See what happens when you drink, you forget things. So, we're going on 3.5 hours. I have one more story that I have to ask you about because it's on the sticky note.
Okay.
And after that, if you say, I'm tired and I want to go to bed, okay.
My phone is at 13%.
That works as well. So to preface this, we did a lot of travels. My father, at least when I was little, and even as an adult for a while, he was doing Native American artwork. As alluded to earlier, Cherokee Irish. And he does like medicine bags, dream catchers. On top of that, we're very spiritually connected. So particular places like hotspots, we'll call them, Amityville, or the particular story that I'm gonna reference, and Mom probably already knows which one I'm referencing because it's obviously not Amityville. Were places that we would particularly go to. So, Mom, I was either non-existent or very little. Why don't you tell us about the Bell Witch?
You were very little. Oh, dang you and the Bell Witch.
That means it's
So
probably going to be a short story, but a good story.
it's going to be well, we were, because Bell Witch is in Tennessee, it's in Adams, so it's not that far from Clarksville. We decided we would go out there because we didn't think it was all as hyped up as everybody said. So we drive out there.
If I
We start to
remember
drive
correctly,
down.
if I remember correctly, you said the same thing about Amityville, and we got to the street, not the driveway, the street, and said, "No, fuck that."
I don't remember driving by the Amityville house, but anyway, Bell Witch. Probably I blocked it out, but Bell Witch.
I might
We
be
started
mistaking
driving up-
Bell Witch for Amityville, but
We started driving up the driveway, and then it just started feeling really creepy. And yeah, your dad was feeling it too, and so was I, and you guys were starting to act up a little more. And we said, you know what? We're just going to turn around right here and go on back home. And no, thank you. The Bell Witch can stay there. And we left. And I didn't even like driving on that road that went by the Bell Witch house because it was just, ugh. Yeah. Couldn't
so
do the Bell Witch. Couldn't drive up. Made it maybe halfway up the driveway. Not even halfway up the driveway.
So, for those of you who don't know, we'll call them Whitey. Natives tend to be very spiritually connected. If something's a little hinky, a place is obviously haunted, or some people were doing. I'm sure Little Jack is already in bed, but some people have been doing white people shit. I heard somebody else laugh too. Again, that's not tan, that's natural. The natives tend to know. Cherokee Irish. We tend to know.
I heard somebody else laugh too.
That's not just the Cherokee side. Even the Irish people would go, no, white people shit. But places that are very spiritually powerful, active, we're going to stay away. We might get halfway up the driveway and say, it's kind of creepy. The little ones are acting up. No.
That's what I call fork this shirt, and we're done.
Fork this shirt. If we had Scotch and Songs merchandise, I would say that's our next shirt. Unfortunately, we do not. Where's my notepad? I need to write that down.
I think it probably good.
Oh, she said she thinks that might be copyrighted because it's actually from The Good Place, that TV show, The Good Place. That's where I picked that up from.
I have neither the time or patience, ADHD, to watch TV. So never watched it.
We did, and then when Jack was little, instead of throwing F-bombs and stuff like that, tried to change some of the words a little bit so I could get my F-bombs out without actually him hearing the words. So fork and shirt.
That being said, have y'all been watching the new Stephen King show?
No.
I may or may not have told this. So when the It movies came out, at least the first one, I was dating a girl that was very afraid of clowns. This one I know I told. Naturally, I'm a big Stephen King fan. So when I hear there's an It TV show coming out, I'm gonna be watching it. Oh, wow, I am dating this for anyone who watches it in the future. Have y'all been watching the new It Welcome to Derry?
No. We don't watch regular TV that much.
Good thing it's not on regular TV.
We don't.
Well, yeah, we don't have the HBO.
You at least know it's on HBO. It is. It's very good. I know the old man likes scary movies. That this is a segue. I've got one last story, and then we really do need to cut it off. I know the old man likes scary movies. It's also getting very close to his birthday and Christmas. You could kind of wrap both things into one and get him watching the new It show. I think he would like it. However, you remember when we watched The Grudge?
Yes.
Judging by that smile, you'll remember the aftermath as well.
You mean the two boys that kept scaring their mother, and then the father?
I was not the guilty party in that.
Wait a
That
minute.
was Blaze.
He's trying to be a liar, liar, pants on fire.
No, that was Blaze.
So anyway, my children were
Blaze was the
kept
target.
scared. And so one night I got scared, and it was kind of late, and I screamed. And so your father, who had long hair, decided he was going to pay you guys back. So he pushed his hair over his face, he got down on his hands and knees, and he crawled in your room.
I have to use my brush to articulate this. Look about right.
Close, yeah.
So, for context, the American version of The Grudge, the first movie, came out, and we watched it because Dad loves scary movies. They don't scare him. He was in Iraq the first time. Scary movies don't scare him.
He was in desert. Desert. Yes, it was Iraq. He was in Desert Storm, Desert Shields, Desert Storm, which is the first Gulf War.
More accurately, it was mostly Kuwait, but same difference. he went to war.
Yeah.
Scary movies don't scare him.
More accurate.
We watched the first Grudge. Now, my mother scares very easily.
Movies don't scare.
Little brother Blaze, who is a step below me, there are many of us. We are legion. Decided it would be a good idea to scare Mom. Not just once. I'm probably guilty of doing it once. Maybe twice. If more, it wasn't intentional. Again, Mom scares easily.
Decided it would be a good idea to scare Mom. Not just once.
Now, we watched The Grudge.
If more, it wasn't intentional.
I'm listening back to the echo from the TV.
From the TV.
Dad said,
Watch The Grudge.
maybe internally, maybe to Mom, I don't know. I wasn't there for this part. When they go to bed, I am going to fuck up their entire lives.
Dad said.
So, he brushed his hair in front of his face, much like I just did, and crawled into the room. Kind of like The Grudge. I don't know what Blaze thought. He's not here. He can't tell his side of the story. Knowing Blaze, he would say, no, it was all Drake. And I would go, you're a fucking liar. But he crawled into the room. Now, when the bedroom door opened, I looked, saw, and said, it's not real. It's not real. Looked again over the bunk beds, which had a bar on them. We may or may not have used this bar for Tarzan, as mentioned earlier. And seeing it crawling up onto the bed with little brother Blaze, who had the bottom bunk, he regretted it this night, saw it being my father, and said, it's real! And crawled into the furthest corner that I could, along with what was probably brown recluse spiders. It's Tennessee, they're common there. And they liked the corner above my bed. Blaze, on the other hand, decided to take the offensive defense and start throwing pillows at what may or may not be The Grudge. And when he got his fill of terror, my father said, bet you won't be scaring your mother anymore, will you? And now I play blues music. Somebody was traumatized. Sound about right?
Yeah, you left out a part about screaming like girls, but yeah, that's...
I thought that part was implied. Oh yeah, I discovered pitch I didn't realize was possible that night. come to think of it, I don't think I've ever slept since.
Oh, Drake. And with that story, I do have to go because my phone is going to die.
And this has been an almost 4-hour episode of Scotch and Songs. We will catch you next week. By we, I mean me and Cole, who had to dip out about an hour ago. We will catch you next week. We'll do Scott Weiland night. It'll be a 10-year belated memorial to Mr. Scott Weiland, one of my favorite vocalists. So, Stone Temple Pilots, Velvet Revolver. Hey, Velvet Revolver. You might know the guitarist for that one.
I might.
That's also one of the first albums that I ever bought. If I'm not mistaken, we listened to that in the car on my birthday.
Maybe, yeah.
After going to Target to buy that and Godsmack's Greatest Hits album.
I like Godsmack.
They may or may not be on the list. You might have to join us for that one too.
Maybe.
For the record, even if Mom isn't on camera, she's usually in the comments telling us that we're wrong or adding clarification. But the guitarist for Velvet Revolver being Slash, who I know Mom's never heard of Slash.
No, never.
That wouldn't be Mom and Dad's wedding song, being a Guns N' Roses song. Come to think of it, that particular Guns N' Roses song, probably not the best of wedding songs.
Probably not, but
C'est la vie, right?
it wasn't so much the words, but the music. Well, some of the words, but the music. It had nice music.
It does have nice music for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That is a long song. We're talking about November Rain. We have not done a Guns N' Roses episode yet.
Yeah, no.
We did Slash. We didn't do Guns N' Roses.
And the part of that being our wedding song is it's November Rain, and we were married in November, and it just actually so happened to rain on our wedding day. So it was pretty fitting.
So, what day would that have been?
The 14th of November.
We missed it by about 10 days. But you know what would make a good Scotch and Songs for next year?
What's that?
Guns
Anniversary show?
Guns and fucking Roses. That's the official title, by the way. Everyone says Guns N' Roses. It's actually Guns and fucking Roses. But anyway, sidetracked. In case you can't tell, I've been drinking on Scotch and Songs.
What?
Right. But Scott Whalen next week. We'll touch into some post-hardcore on the 8th, the day after my birthday. And we will catch you next week.